So last time we started case 4 um, of Investigations 2, and it's really interesting, especially after the intro, seeing Kay getting thrown off a roof. It turns out she did take a huge fall during the case, and she's actually lost her memory. So we went to the area where she was supposed to be. She completely lost her memory. She doesn't have any knowledge of who she is and stuff like that. So we went to the place where she was supposed to be. And we did a little bit of investigating, and there was also a dead body that was found there. A girl called let's load up the evidence. End part 1. So this is Kay after she fell off. Well, she didn't fall off the building, but we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so this was the murder victim, Jill Crane. She was found in not the roof of the building. There's like this big building. I think it's called the Grand Tower or something like that. It's like a 51 floor building. So we went and we investigated the roof because that's where Kay was supposed to be. And Kay thinks that she fell off the roof of the building. But we also find in the 2 floors below, we find this dead body of Jill Crane in, and the office that is on that floor is the PIC office, which is where Edgeworth was supposed to be having his meeting to determine whether he would or would not lose his badge. So we did some investigating there, and then Justine came in, and then they started blaming Kay for the murder because they knew that she was here that night, and because Kay doesn't have any memory, she can't refute anything. They kind of bully her into thinking that she was the one who did it because Kay can't defend herself, and so we were trying to defend Kay. And Edgeworth in turn gives up his attorney's badge because Justine is like, you have a choice between choosing defending Kay or being a good prosecutor, and Edgeworth is just like, I want to defend my friend, and so gave him his badge, and so Edgeworth no longer has his badge. Actually, he no longer has any evidence because he's been placed in detention based on some other stuff that we haven't gotten to yet. Now, during this case, while we were investigating, we ran into Francisco. She came, I'm guessing, because she's looking for the smuggling ring, since she's working with Interpol. Yeah, we had DeBest and Justine. There's this girl, Karine Jensen. She's the nurse that was administered to look after Kay. And then you have her mother or grandmother. She's only 60. She's younger than Blaze. Also, in terms of returning characters, we have Ray, who's come to help out Kay. We have Lotta. Well, we'll get to Lotta and Emma in a bit. So both Lotta and Emma returned as well. We also met this guy. His name is Blaze DeBest. So he's DeBest's dad. And he's the chairman of the PIC. He's weepy. Yeah, so we met him, and he's on the side of Justine and the other DeBest as well. And some things going on, he looks very corrupt. And he's my biggest sus at the moment in terms of someone who actually committed the murder. So we go back to the crime scene. Kay runs away. We go back to the crime scene and we find Kay, and we investigate a bit more. Kay has some vague memories of what happened. So while she was on the roof, she has this picture of a hooded figure walking towards her. I can't look at any of the evidence because we don't have it since we're in the holding cell. And then she remembers falling. And so she assumed that she fell off the roof. But when we do some investigating on the roof, we find a hatch that's on the roof that leads to the floor below. And it's apparently the only way you can get to the floor below. And that's when we meet up with Emma. Emma comes back and she, she's studying in Europe at the moment to become a forensic scientist, but she's here with her mentor, although she abandoned her mentor to come help out Edgeworth. And so she assists Edgeworth with looking around on the floor, on the 51st floor under the roof. And it turns out that they find a bunch of evidence, like missing evidence, from previous cases that's being sold to like the highest bidder. And we don't know who is the mastermind in terms of, because we didn't see anybody there. We just found the evidence. So things like the Blue Badger costumes and masks, and like statues and like dolls and other things from the previous cases. And we also run into Lotta, who is hiding because she's trying to look for her big scoop. Claims to be an investigative photographer. Has covered many scoops in the past. And Lotta took some pictures, one of which is useful to us. We don't have it in our evidence at the moment, but we did have it before, and it's very useful. And it turns out she didn't see anything, but she heard a huge scuffle. We think that she was in the room when the murder happened. And what was happening was kind of like an auction. So like rich people would come and like look at the wares and then buy whatever. And the person who was hosting it, which we believe to be Jill Crane, was selling the wares, and it seems like a customer was the person who ended up killing her. But we're not entirely sure because it's Lotta's words, so you can never really trust Lotta. But it definitely has something to do with that auction, and we think that Lotta was in the room when it happened. Anyway, so it turns out that there's an elevator in that room that leads to the PIC room, which is the room below, which is probably how the body got there. So we take the elevator down and we run into Justine, and then they take Kay and they detain Edgeworth until the next day, and that's where we are right now. Okay, so without further ado, let's go. Oh, so Edgeworth is in prison because he found Kay and kind of didn't say anything about it, like harboring a fugitive. No, it's just people being silly. Don't worry about it. So April 6th, detention center, holding cell. That's why Edgeworth is in prison. This is the second time I've been in this cell. I hope so. Imagine. All of my evidence has been taken from me. The only thing I have left is Kay's Yatagarasu badge. I'm worried about Kay. Is she alright? The culprit. It's me. I remember looking down at the person in the red raincoat. Mr. Edgeworth, it was me! The culprit was me all along! You have a visitor. Please hurry out. A visitor? Who could it be? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Will you turn him down? No. It'll be hard to face him, though. Gumshoe came to see us. Wait there! He's not gonna stay and keep watch. Pardon me. You're not Dick Gumshoe. Judge Courtney! Hush. Please, have a seat. Why are you here? I was told the detective had come. If I didn't instruct them to tell you that, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. Alright, fair enough. Can't think of anything she'd need from me at this point, but why did the guard just leave? I should try to figure out what she wants. This is for the DS. I'm on the DS. Your visitation rights have been restricted to begin with. It's as if I'm some monstrous criminal. I suppose my credibility has hit rock bottom. But of course, your friends have fared a little better though. That lawyer and that girl were both quite worked up. Mr. Shields and Emma. When I last saw them, they were given one of the guards quite an earful. What? You don't mean? Be grateful. The goddess of law has been quite busy. They were spared punishment. It certainly seems like you have plenty of time for small talk. Oh yes, Prosecutor Von Karma is presently continuing the investigation. You were worried about them, right? I guess she saw right through me. Judge Courtney's goal. Let's cut to the chase. Exactly what are you planning? I am not planning anything. There is merely a question I wish to ask. You're asking me? Yes, of course. Who else is here? Objectively speaking, you are a clever individual, and you have a sharp mind. He has the sharpest mind. As a prosecutor, you are highly talented and capable. Are you being ironic? Your sarcasm falls short. I am being completely sincere, and that is why I cannot understand. Take this case, for example. You're up against the PIC. There is no chance for you to come out on top. Even a child can understand, and yet you... How does she not understand that all Edgeworth wants is the truth? Come on. Not like he hasn't said it to you. Perhaps my younger self would have done something so reckless. Oh, would not have done something so reckless. The me from before had power. That's why I thought justice was on my side. Just like you right now. However, because of a certain man, my self-centered sense of justice was broken down. Ever since then, I began to see people in a different light. I'm able to serve as a prosecutor only because of the support of the people around me. People like Detective Gumshoe, and all the other investigators, and Kay as well. Certain man. They never actually say Phoenix's name. Honestly, even I'm surprised at how much I've changed. I see. Is that how it is? I've come to understand you a little more. Understand me? Not likely. Someone like you, who forces her own sense of justice onto others, could never understand. I wonder about that. Is that what you think? Question mark? If I could say one thing, it would be that this conversation has been very interesting. That is all. Our conversation is coming to an end. However, I have one last thing to tell you. The date of your hearing has been set. I came here today to inform you. Today, in the PIC meeting room, may you humbly accept your fate. If that's all you wanted to say, couldn't you have just sent a messenger? The holy words of the goddess of law simply cannot be entrusted to others. With that, Mr. Edgeworth, I bid you farewell. I shall be seeing you again later. Oh my god, can I go through the hole? It's a simple bed. I don't expect it to be very comfortable to sleep on. If it were Detective Gumshoe, he would probably snore loudly while sleeping like a log. I may never get a chance to work with him again. Oh my god, he's sad about it. However, this is the path I chose. I won't regret it. Stream keep buffering. Am I dropping any frames? I am indeed. Hello. Oh, good. Just waiting it out. This time it's on my end. I can see the frame drops. It better fix itself soon. Okay. It looks like it's stabilized. It's being kind of finicky. Alright, I'll keep going for now, but it looks like it's not dropping. It's not dropping frames anymore, but I can see it wanting to drop frames. Where do I go? Can I just leave? There's a poster hanging in the hallway. The Dice and Slice game. Roll the dice and decide your daily menu. The Dice and Slice game has been cancelled due to the warden's arrest. We sincerely apologize to everyone who was looking forward to it. There's no need to apologize for cancelling such a silly game. Dining menu sitting on the desk. Seems I can get food delivered if I pay for it. Let's see. Moldy white bread lunch set. Switch to moldy whole wheat bread for an extra $1. Oatmeal and grits set meal. For a limited time, get extra gruel at no additional cost. Goodness, I'm not hungry right now. Another visitor. Oh, it's Blaze. Oh, it's Kay as well. Okay. Both of them. Ah. It seems you're alright. I'm relieved. For now. You know, this is kind of touching. You look a little down, Kay. Please, cheer up. You didn't do anything wrong. I guarantee it. Please, just accept it. I'm a murderer. That's not true. Why won't you believe in yourself? What should I believe in? I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing to believe in? That's not true. Before you lost your memories, you literally jumped into my life. As a result, your words and actions have become engraved in my memories. That's the mark you left behind. How can you call that nothing? I believe in your innocence. That's why you must believe in yourself as well. Thank you. But it's no use. Look at all the misfortune I've brought upon you. If you can, please forget it all. Your memories of Kay Faraday. No! Kay! What do you want, Blaze? You know, this takes me back. In my youth, I too was a gallant. Is this the kind of justice that the PIC seeks? Justice, huh? I wonder. This man, what is he planning? Why is he pushing things forward so forcefully? It all seems too unnatural. Is there a hidden agenda? It's sus. There's no time left. It's all or nothing now. Well then, I must take my leave. Hold it! Oh my god, we're going straight into chess? No matter how you look at it, Kay's arrest was unnatural. There must be something behind it. Hey, I'm a busy man, you know. Oh my god, he has 4 chess pieces. I'm kind of a big deal, you see. I trust this won't take up too much of my time. In order to make it out of this situation, I must break through his defenses. There are plenty of things I want to ask. My time is limited. First, I'll ask about why he rushed the arrest. I have no intention of letting him push me around. I will overcome this difficult situation. Here we go. Why did you rush her arrest? Why did you rush her arrest? I would like a clear explanation. Game audio is too low. I can turn it up. Oh, I'm still dropping frames? Turn up a little. Okay, well, I really hope that if I look back at it and it's still dropping frames, I don't want to stop. But... Explanation? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You clearly did not follow the proper procedures. Okay, maybe you should pipe down a bit. Do you even know the position you're in? Can't Suppose we let the criminal escape. What do you think will happen? What will happen? I will be made to take responsibility, you see. I do hope you understand. And what of it? Haven't you realized it yet? I have you cornered. Okay, well no, that's not what I wanted you to say. I sure can't understand the high spirits all you young folks seem to have. Okay. Gonna have to wait and see again, I guess. It's still dropping frames. I don't know. Reset stream. No, that wouldn't fix anything. If it's a connection to Twitch, then I'd rather not do that. I just want to play the game, dude. I have to stop streaming and change servers. Not that bad. I've dropped 100,000 frames in like the last, what, 10 minutes? Alright, I'll keep going for now then. But if it continues to drop, I would rather not stream. Than stream at like 20 FPS. I'll wait for another day. Why did you rush her arrest? I would like a clear explanation. Explanation? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You clearly did not follow the proper procedure. Okay, I've done this already. Hi, Rock. Good to see you. Yeah, it's just tech issues are the worst. I always hate them. Just take my advice and stay out of this. You know what's good for you. I refuse. Kay is innocent. You know, this is so pitiful. It brings me to tears. Why won't you just give up? Things were finally going well. Things were going well? What do you mean by that? Things were going well, you say? It's a strange way to put it. It almost sounds as if you personally wanted Kay to be arrested. Far more than necessary. Haven't you lost your impartiality? Think so? That certainly wasn't my intention, you see. Edgeworth, my boy, you're reading too much into it. He skillfully avoided the issue. However, I still have some serious doubts about Kay's arrest. Next, I shall ask him if the investigation was sufficient. I can't miss even the tiniest piece of information. It's the only way to break through this situation. How long did you investigate? How much time was spent on the investigation? You know, I wonder about that. I don't really remember, you see. There is no way I can accept such a careless answer. Like I said, I don't remember. My memory's not as sharp as it used to be, you see. Sometimes I even forget my own son's name. I don't care about your idiot son. I want your answers regarding the investigation. Yes, he really is an idiot. Even though I don't remember raising him like that. Oh my god, stop crying, I don't care. There's no end to this. He just keeps on dodging the question. Let's try another line of attack to make him take me seriously. Was it under your authority? It's hard to say that the investigation was sufficient. The arrest. Was it under your authority? My, do I really look that important? The Prosecutorial Investigation Committee Chairman. It's quite a prominent title. Not that I care much for it. That was rather blunt. I'm so shocked I could cry. I'm sorry. Flattery was never my forte. If you keep talking like that towards me, you'll never get your prosecutor's badge back. You know. That would be terrible! I don't need my badge. And let me make this clear right now. I do not live for the sake of my badge. Status means nothing to me. Do you understand? So young. Let me teach you something as your senior in life. What you're saying right now is far too naive, you see. The look in his eyes has changed. He might respond differently to some of my questions now. This is my chance. Alright, let's try the first question again. How much time was spent on the investigation? Well, unwilling. Even someone like me is starting to get annoyed. What a coincidence. I feel the same way. Answer me. Was the investigation sufficient? Young folk always live life in the fast lane. That's why I like to bully them. You'll regret this soon enough. How do you bully someone? Oh no, don't actually... Let's try that again. I meant to click wait and see, but because I said it, I accidentally chose it. You sure are quiet. Are you scared? Ha ha ha! Ridiculous! I was just thinking about my next strategy on how to extract information from a weepy old man. You should show some remorse, you know. Don't you get it? I hold your fate in my hands. I care about fate. Wait and see again. I think. In any case, even if you obtain some information, there's nothing you can do. Just give up already. I refuse. Mind if I ask why? It's simple. The truth is fading away. That's all there is to it. I see. Starting to understand what kind of person you are. But you know, it's all useless. It's enough to make me cry. Give it up. The girl's guilt has already been decided. Decided? That's strange. The way you said that, it almost sounds like it was decided from the very beginning. What are you trying to say? Her arrest was planned. Yes. It's clearly unnatural. Everything is progressing as if Kay's guilt was predetermined. Wasn't Kay's arrest planned from the start? I see. That's an interesting theory. But I don't have time to indulge in your flights of fancy, you know. Why don't we put an end to this silly conversation? Curses! He's trying to get away! Before that, I must find out if the arrest was lawful. Okay, this is new music. It's still very faint, but I'm beginning to see the path to the truth. I can't let this opportunity slip by. I still have more to ask you. Please wait. There is still something I want to ask you. I've grown weary of our little tete-a-tete. Please keep it short, okay? Who made the decision? Who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? Well, I can't say I remember. Growing old is a terrible thing. Oh my god, don't use that excuse! I don't have enough clues. Okay. I still have more to ask you. What is the basis for your arrest? If I put together what you have told me up until now, I cannot help but say that there is no basis for Kay's arrest. Yes, I understand. You see. But you know, it doesn't really matter either way. Can't overturn her arrest. How irresponsible. Do you still claim to be a man of the law? My, those are some harsh words, you know. You know, you're starting to make me a little angry. Wait and see. See, to be honest, I really can't answer all of your questions, you know? That's just the position I'm in. See, I'm a busy man, you know? Aren't you just pretending to be busy? That's cruel, you know? This old chunk of coal has been working like a dog. Pretending. Just what do you think that would accomplish? Let me get my sympathy. You don't want to talk about it, do you? You don't want to talk about the case. Isn't that what you're trying to get away from this? Why you're trying to get away from this place? How sad, yes. How sad indeed. Do you really suspect little old me? I do suspect you, and I'm confident about it. There was clearly no basis for Kay's arrest. My, have you forgotten? Wasn't there evidence? The mask, the letter, and the corsage, all found in the girl's possession. Not to mention, she even confessed. All of this serves to prove her crime. That's... Any objections? I'm gonna wait and see. As much as I love to shout objection, I don't think objecting to that will do anything. Well, like any, because like he's kind of right. All that stuff was found on Kate, but at least as far as we know, according to the nurse. Yo, Mac, thanks for being sub for 16 months. I hope you're doing well today. Appreciate the support. Good to see you. You see? You have no response. It's true. I have no objections. Although, there is one point that bothers me. That was a long thing, I know. This man seems awfully familiar with the evidence. To remember everything without missing a beat. That intrigues me. Ooh, now I can go back to the other one. Who made the decision? Who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? Can't remember, eh? Perhaps I should use that clue. You remembered all the evidence. Don't play dumb with me. Didn't you remember all of the evidence in full detail just now? Stop pretending to be a forgetful old man when things aren't going your way. Now then, who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? I see. You're a sharp one, aren't you? You know, I wish my son could learn from you. Because he's a real idiot. Oh my god, stop saying that. I'm not interested in your son. Who made the decision for the arrest? You're a bad man, you know. Don't you already know? The one who ordered her arrest. It was you. Must have been you. The person right in front of me. I'm certain of it. Ouch. Make it sound like I committed some kind of injustice. Guess I'll have to clear that up. My honor's at stake here, you see. Very well. I'll continue to play along with you. Until you are satisfied. What is most crucial here is how much this man knows about this case. If I can get him to reveal that. It's do or die. If I can overcome this, I'll reach the truth. You seem to know quite a bit. You seem pretty familiar with the case. I'm a wise man, you know. I'm familiar with most things, you see. I don't think it was very wise of you to arrest Kay in this case. The lighter is dangerous. I can outweight you, dude. I'm a very busy man. I can end this conversation anytime I want, you know. Don't you forget about that. This would have already been over if you had simply answered my questions. You give me a proper answer. I won't take any more of your time. I will ask you once again, why are you so familiar with this case? I read the case files, you see? Honestly, it was quite a drag, you know. But it's my job, so what could I do? Because of my position, you see? I can't just skip out on it. Well, I had some time to kill. So I read the whole thing, you see? You read it all. You just said, he did just say he was busy. That's strange. Didn't you just say you were very busy? Aren't your faults slowly coming to light now? If you truly wish to protect your position, I would advise you to rescind the arrest order. You really are desperate, you know? That never say die attitude touches my heart. But you know, it's unfortunate that all your hard work was for naught. Because we discovered her unconscious body near the crime scene, you see. You found her unconscious? This is the first I've heard of Kay's condition when she was found. Yeah, we don't really know about that. She was unconscious in the storeroom? That's right. The source of that information is classified, though. Interesting. This man knows things even I don't know. I didn't know that. That's where they found her. Does he know the whole story behind this case? Could be a useful clue. Okay, let's do about Kay. The suspect. Regarding Kay. How much do you know about her? She's the suspect in this case. That's all I know. You see. Scouts on her. Perhaps I should use that clue. Don't you know the whole story? You're using a rope this time. Something you've said feels out of place. You know, about things that the crime scene investigation never revealed. Why is that? Just how much of the truth do you know? Ha ha ha! You're making that forceful face again. You know, kinda makes me want to do the same, like this. Okay, that's weird. You really are a persistent one, you know. But I can admire that, you see. I will take that as a compliment. Aren't you given a rest already? My age, my body's not as strong as it once was, you know. There is no one else who could be the culprit besides her. She was even given that much evidence to show that she committed the crime. Excuse me? Excuse me? He was even given that much evidence. She was given evidence? She was given evidence, you say? That's an odd choice of words. It almost sounds as if she did not possess them under her own will. I see, that was a bad slip. You really do have a fine eye for the details, as expected of a former prodigy prosecutor. You already have found your answer, haven't you? I'm listening, so go ahead and say it. There's no need to hold back. I have finally wrenched open the heavy door to the truth. Now, all that remains is to strike the final blow. Okay, can I finally press this one? He is not the culprit. My. It's a rather bold claim, you know. Anyone can shout objections from the top of their lungs, you see, Mr. Former Prodigy Prosecutor. I shall break through this with that clue. True culprit was someone else. Kay was framed! The true culprit is pinning the blame on her. That is my answer. Ha 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 ha. Yes, you're a clever one. It almost makes me feel bad that your prosecutor's badge was taken away, you know. Yes, It's as you say. Checkmate. Easy. You arrested Kay, even when you knew of the existence of the true culprit? Don't toy with me! There is no way such an act would be tolerated. You sure are green, you know. That's what a prosecutor is supposed to do. It will all work out fine, if you make her guilty. Who would desire such a resolution? I had to say, maybe the PIC. And also, maybe me, you know. Ha ha ha. When I heard your words just now, I can barely hold back my tears, you know. It was just so splendid, you see. It burns me up inside. I'm not the most perfect piece of work, you know, so I can't forgive such youthfulness. You say the truth is important, but you know, once you know the real value the truth holds, I wonder if you could still say the same thing. What are you trying to say? When you get to where I am, you can just create your own truths, anytime you want. Oh my god, Edgeworth's not going to be happy with that. Kay Faraday is the culprit. That was the truth I simply manufactured out of thin air. Good, very good. That face, that expression. You were such a desperate one. You see, that's why I really wanted to bully you, you know. You see, even if you know the truth, there is simply nothing you can do. And that's the real value of the truth. So shocking that it's to die for, you know. Why won't you pursue the true culprit? How much of the truth do you know? Do you understand now? The truth that you believe in is worthless, you see. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Powerless, former prosecutor. You. Oh, scary, scary. You know, I guess the friends of a heinous criminal are also quite heinous themselves. Blaze, you! And like this, you see, one more person will disappear before me. Ah, here come the waterworks. These tears of mine just won't stop, you know. Get out of here. So he knows Kay is innocent, and he knows a little about the truth, but he just wants to, deciding to push Kay is guilty. Unless he is the culprit himself. Anything will be decided in today's deliberation. Kay's innocence. I will definitely prove it. Oh, here we go. Ten members are present. The quorum has been met. From here on out, let the council begin. Today's deliberation shall be about Miles Edgeworth's aptitude and ability as a prosecutor. Let our members discuss this matter with a clear conscience of the goddess of law. A clear conscience? Don't make me laugh. Courtney, please give us your report. On April 5th. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. On April 5th, Prosecutor Edgeworth carried out an illegal investigation and resisted arrest. He was arrested by two of our members. We caught him in the act, myself and Blaze DeBeth. Prosecutor Edgeworth disrupted the investigation of attorney Jill Crane's murder. He claims that the culprit, Kay Faraday, was arrested without sufficient evidence. Even now, his claim remains unchanged. Tell us more about the murder incident. On April 5th, the victim's body was found here, in the PIC meeting room. Regarding the details. I, Sebastian DeBest, the best prosecutor, will enlighten you. The prosecutor in charge, Sebastian DeBest, will explain the rest of the details. The murder happened on the night of April 4th. The victim was one Jill Crane. On the same night, a black market auction was being held in this very meeting room. Oh my god, look at that mask. I guess Miss Crane was taking part in the auction. Yeah. The murder occurred in the middle of the auction, did it not? When Miss Crane was found, she was dressed like the conductor of the auction. However, based on the fact that the auction continued after the murder occurred, I deduced that Miss Crane could not have been the conductor. You weren't the one who made that deduction? Sebastian, please show everyone the basis for the arrest of the culprit. You got it, Justine. Kay Faraday was unable to bear the weight of her good conscience. I believe you mean her guilty conscience. Yes, it was her guilty conscience that drove her to confess the crime. According to her confession, on the roof of this building, she made a figure in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. So Crane was wearing a red raincoat? Yes, that's correct. The culprit used the conductor's clothing as a red herring to mislead us. At the time of the murder, Miss Crane was wearing a red raincoat. It was I who discovered the raincoat near this building. You did? I'm sure it was the forensics team who found it. To be more precise, it was the forensics team under Sebastian's order who discovered it. I thought as much. According to I wonder what Sebastian could find himself. According to the blood analysis, the person in the red raincoat and Miss Crane were the same person. The decisive evidence is the culprit's own confession. She testified that she killed her. That's right. The culprit is Kay Faraday. It couldn't have been anyone else but her. Well then, Edgeworth, if you have any objections, let's hear them. I have no objections. I see. It seems all the fight's gone out of you after your little overnight. Oh. I have no objections to your claim that I investigated illegally. I admit to that. However, I object to the claim that Kay is the culprit. I will testify that Sebastian's investigation was fair and just. Ha ha ha. Of course it was, Justine. Don't you know that I'm the fairest of them all? Edgeworth, my boy, despite how things may seem, I actually kinda like you. If, and this is just an if, you see, if you were to withdraw your objection, you might be sitting on this side of the bench tomorrow. Are you trying to bribe him? Do you not know who you're talking to? I'll ask you one more time, Edgeworth. Do you have any objections? Don't take me for a fool. I advise you to watch what you say. This man is the one who should watch what he's saying. I'm talking about the case, not a chair. I demand a testimony. By all means, let me hear it. I want to know how the PIC understands this case. A testimony from us, eh? Fine then. That's what it takes to make you happy. Court, give him the materials from the investigation. Sir? But that's... It's the end of the line for him. I'll let him go out in a blaze of glory. If you insist, Mr. Chairman. Alright, received evidence from Judge Courtney. Why don't we have Courtney give the testimony? I have no objections. Mr. Edgeworth! Don't worry, Kay. You just watch from over there. Summary of the case. Miss Crane went to the black market auction as a customer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for auction. Oh, from the first case. Must be. We believe that she left her seat after winning the bid for it. The only exit from the storeroom is a hatch that leads to the viewing platform. Miss Crane went out to the viewing platform, where she was attacked by Kay Faraday. That was how she met her end, and that concludes my summary of the case. Okay. The red raincoat was up for auction. Is that a fact? It is quite likely. The red raincoat had been a piece of evidence in the assassination attempt of the president of Zhengfa, as you well know. Originally, it should have been stored in an appropriate place, but when I asked about it, I learned that it went missing when it somehow made its way to the black market auction. certainly a natural conclusion. My. Well done, Courtney. Your explanation is as clear as ever. I am much obliged. Prosecutor Edgeworth, will you concede defeat now? Sorry, but I don't plan on it. I see. I am relieved. Relieved? What does she mean? Come to think of it, her reason for questioning me yesterday remains a mystery. Just what is she thinking? Maybe she has her own suspicion. I don't know. It's kind of different to how she's been acting like the entire time. Anyway, the big problem I have with this is she was wearing the raincoat when she left, and then Courtney is claiming that after that's when she got attacked. But if you look at the picture, she already has blood on her left hand. So where did that blood come from if she hadn't been attacked yet? Objection! Easy game! Judge Courtney, I have found it to be strange for a while now. Why is Miss Hart here with us? She is an eyewitness to this case. Isn't it only natural for her to be in attendance? Aw, shucks! I reckon I'm more of an ear witness than an eyewitness. Forgot I had to give Lola's voice. It seems that gaining the trust of others isn't your strong point, Judge Courtney. Perhaps I simply do not wish to be as tactless as you. Oh, snap. It appears you have failed to get the witness to tell you the most vital information. Please look at this photo. This was taken by Miss Hart. This photo seems to have been taken in the storeroom. And what of it? According to your reasoning, the incident took place on the viewing platform. However, Miss Hart encountered the incident in the storeroom. That's right. It had taken place just before this photo was taken. Wait, if that's true, then Justine's reasoning... Hi, Golden Witch. Good to see you. Exactly. It does not hold up. What? Miss Hart, allow me to ask you again. You saw the person in the photo with your own eyes, correct? I sure did. I see him plain as day with my own 2 eyes. And what did you think at the time? I figured I was about to get me a big scoop, you know? I guess that makes sense. That's not what I meant. What did you think of that person? Huh? Oh, that's not what I thought Edgeworth was gonna ask. Well, I reckon she'd help me bring home the bacon. Oh my god, Lotta, please. Are you mocking me? Ah, shucks. Don't make that scary old face. It was just a harmless little joke. The person in the red raincoat, I reckon they were the culprit. I hope you understand now. The crime occurred in... Prosecutor Edgeworth, I cannot understand your argument if you do not say it out loud. If you had simply asked, I would have been more than willing to explain. Explain what? The sounds Miss Hart heard may not necessarily be related to the case. That is impossible! Enough of your excuses! Was the voice that Miss Hart heard really the voice of Miss Crane? Such a shady conversation must have something to do with the case. What did her voice sound like? Her voice? Well, beats me. How was I supposed to know they were both using voice changes? Yes, the voice Miss Hart heard. Voices Miss Hart heard had been altered by a device. We must therefore question whether or not they have any bearing on the case, but that doesn't matter. What matters is the blood in the picture, which backs up Lotta's testimony. You need not object just because you wish to sigh. I've objected for literally nothing before, so I can... Edgeworth. Judge Courtney, it seems I have greatly overestimated you. Oh my lord. What a thing to say. No, Courtney is quite amazing, you see. You claim that the sounds Miss Hart heard have no bearing on this case. Even if they do not, it doesn't change the fact that the crime took place in the storeroom. At the very least, the crime must have occurred before the victim went up to the rooftop. The reason being... Yes! Finally! I finally get to point it out! Oh my god. I've been wanting to do this for so long. At first, I thought the person in the red raincoat was the culprit. Well, Miss Hart's testimony made it sound that way. Okay, sorry. Precisely. It was because she saw that the person's hand was covered in blood. Anyone who heard a testimony would have arrived at the same conclusion. The person in the red raincoat was the culprit, and the blood on their hand was the victim's. However, if the person in the red raincoat was the victim, then the situation changes completely. Since blood can be seen in this photo, it must have been taken after the crime occurred. It seems we've been under the wrong impression in regards to the victim's condition. Was still alive after the attack. The victim was definitely attacked in the storeroom. Immediately afterward, the victim was seen with blood on her hand. That must mean the victim was still alive even after she was attacked. The blood on her hand must have come from her own wound. No way! Are you saying that she died from a hand injury? Oh my lord, dude. Who gave this guy a prosecutor's badge? No, that is not the case. I suspect she just held her hand against the wound. It can be seen in the photo, but at this moment, she must have already suffered a fatal wound. Ho ho, if that's true, then it changes a lot of things, you know. It seems you understand. This refutes the allegations against Kay. Kay encountered the victim after this picture was taken. I believe at that point in time, the victim was already on the verge of death. It's likely Kay just happened to be present when the victim reached the end of her strength. That is quite the coincidence. Indeed, I can only say that she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, what are you going to say now? Prosecutor Edgeworth, it seems you have forgotten a crucial fact. Ah, you mean that, right? He must be pretending that he hasn't noticed it, you see. What did you say? Are you implying that I forgot something? Courtney, I think it's about time you gave him his last rites. Hey, Pops! Justine's with me, you know. Don't order her around like that. You know, even though you're my son, you're so embarrassing. How to not be a father. I'm not embarrassing! I'm sorry, but you're both rather embarrassing. Justine, give Mr. Edgeworth his, Very well. I shall give him his last rites. Alright, what are you gonna say now, Courtney? Edgeworth's contradiction. Oh. When the body was found, there were 3 wounds in Miss Crane's chest. I'm sure you were well aware what kind of wounds these were, right? Yes, she was stabbed in the heart with the 3-pronged candelabra. Is there any person who could survive such an injury? Please take a close look at the autopsy report. Can you still say the same thing after reading it? Okay, but did the victim die instantly, or was it almost instantly? Because, you know, that's happened before. Doesn't say. We need an updated autopsy report. Hi, Gwanda. Well done, Justine. With this, Mr. Edgeworth will... I will offer a rebuttal, of course. Well, why would you do that? Didn't you hear what Justine just said? Of course, I did. And I still plan to object to it. It's not fair! You're always opposing me at every turn. Because you're wrong, dude. It was never my intention to oppose you. Huh? Really? It's simply not worth my time. I see. So that's how it is. Yep. After all, It's enough, you know. You're embarrassing your father, you see. Huh? What do you mean, Pops? Alright. Welcome back, Omega. Just stabbed with candelabra. I want to press this. Hold it! Think about the autopsy report. According to the autopsy report, the stab wounds to the left chest caused the fatality. Correct. The autopsy report itself is the foundation for my reasoning. In other words, I just have to shatter that foundation, right? Oh my god, I don't find that amusing at all. I look forward to seeing you try. Nevertheless, please take a close look at the autopsy report before you make a rebuttal. Show me that your reasoning is not just mere conjecture. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth will be fine, Kay. There's nothing to worry about. Evidence that the victim was alive after the incident. I can just find that. Kay will be. Evidence that the victim was alive. Well, I mean, the body was found in the room below, right? Oh, yeah, the killer hid the victim in the this box. So I need to prove that the victim was alive after the incident. But that doesn't prove it though, right? Because this could have happened even if the victim was dead. The killer just puts them in the box for the time being and then puts them downstairs. I need to find evidence that the victim was walking around. Does it say anything in the autopsy report? Burn mark on... Oh, I haven't talked about the burn mark, have I? That must be from Blaze's frickin' lighter for some reason. Post-mortem, burn mark on victim's hand, but it doesn't say whether the burn mark was post-mortem. Sorry, I'm looking at my DS instead of the screen. Sometimes it's just easier. This is unrelated to this specific testimony, but if the conductor's clothes were designed to fit a man instead of a woman, according to the game, because the buttons were on the other side, then the clothes weren't meant for Jill. Well, I mean, we already discussed that she's not the conductor, but it means, like, it sounds like the game is hinting that the conductor is a man, which again points to probably Blaze. But that has nothing to do with the victim being like walking around after the injury. I just thought about it now. I don't think so. Anything else in this photo? I don't actually know this one. I can't see anything. I can't see anything that definitively proves that the victim was around. Walking around. Or just alive in general. Like the autopsy report, like it says cause of death was wounds, and then the head wound was post-mortem, and then the burn, like maybe the burn mark, I guess. But the burn mark is on the right hand, not the left hand. Talked about 12 years ago. Huh. Maybe it is the box. That's the closest thing I can think of. What does this have to do with anything if the victim was walking around? I just... That's right. Let's try. Objection! It was kind of thin. And like, it could happen even, like, there could still be blood from the killer hiding the body in there and then just taking them out and moving them. Proof that the victim was walking around after the stabbing. It must have something to do with blood, right? So what things... Let's try to narrow it down. What things have to do with blood? What has blood on it? Got the autopsy report. Victim's letter? We think this is planted though, right? Blood in this photo, there's blood here. I don't see how this points to the victim being alive. That can happen even if the victim is dead. There was blood in the costume trunk. Pool of blood found in the meeting room. Maybe it's the fact that there's so much blood in the meeting room. Because like if it didn't drip down, yeah, then it was pulled out. But that can happen after death too, I think. I think even if you pull out the oh, maybe, yeah, maybe it has to, maybe the victim has to be alive in order for that much blood to be in the meeting room. That's a possibility. Victim, there's blood on the raincoat. On the hood. Only on the hood? Wait a second, only on the hood? I just realized. Right. So they were stabbed before they put on the raincoat. But there's blood on the hood. I guess the killer could have done that after though, because it was done post-mortem, right? According to the autopsy report. You don't see blood here though. Sorry, this one's a bit of thinker. But wait a second. In this picture, she must have already been stabbed, right? And she's wearing the raincoat. Which means there should be blood elsewhere on the hood, on the raincoat. Not just the hood. There should be blood all over the chest area. What does that mean? That doesn't make sense. What? It was done post-mortem. Why would that be the case? Unless there's two hoodies? Oh god. Oh. Maybe there's two raincoats. Like in case 1. I don't understand how blood can get on the head but not on the chest area. If the head wound was done post-mortem and she was stabbed in this photo. Anyway, I think this is, so it's this. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I'm pretty sure that it's the raincoat. I just don't understand what that signifies. Objection! Oh, that's wrong. Maybe it's the wrong statement, I don't know. Person who could survive such an injury. Right. Maybe this one? Because she's not bleeding from the chest with the raincoat, huh? But where does the blood come from? I'm trying to logic this out. If the raincoat doesn't have blood in the chest area, but she was definitely attacked when this picture happened, because there's blood on her hand, unless the blood is somebody else's blood. But the report says that it's the victim's blood. And it says that the head wound was done post-mortem. I don't see it. Objection! Okay. Okay. But I'm just trying to figure it out. Where does the blood come from then, if she wasn't stabbed in the picture? But she must... Big thing. Chairman de Best, do you know what this is? It seems to be a red raincoat. How about it, Courtney? The victim, Miss Crane, was wearing this earlier. Prosecutor Edgeworth, must I repeat my explanation to you all over again? I suppose it just might come to that. Judge Courtney, answer me this. This red raincoat was stained with blood. Do you happen to remember where specifically those bloodstains were located? Of course I do. They were on the hood. Wait, it can't be! Cursor on the screen. Oh yeah. Yeah. Forget my window capture does that. Judge Courtney, were there any other bloodstains besides the one on the hood? None were detected. Don't you think it's strange? The victim died from a stab wound to the chest. In that case, there should have been bloodstains on the front of the raincoat. However, the only blood they found was on the hood. This is a huge contradiction, okay? So then where does the blood come from? The wound on the victim's head is no ordinary wound. After all, the victim sustained this wound before... No, she didn't. Edgeworth. It says in the autopsy report that it was done post-mortem. Right? Yeah. Don't dig yourself a hole, bro. The victim sustained this wound before she was stabbed in the chest. It does appear that way, doesn't it? The victim first suffered the head wound. If she had already been stabbed in the chest, the raincoat would have been stained with blood. Therefore, it is unthinkable that her chest was stabbed before she suffered the head wound. So the order of the wounds would be... No, this is wrong. Hello? Why is nobody saying... Does that really change the situation? With this, a contradiction is born. Yeah, okay. At least it sounds like he's noticing it. One that overturns all of our assumptions up until now. Is the change really that great? I look forward to hearing it. Well then, this contradiction. Why didn't you show it to me? With evidence. Okay. No autopsy report. Take that! Take that! This is the autopsy report, written by Dr. Young. According to this, is the report just wrong? That's really annoying. But that's not what the raincoat shows. Exactly. It's the exact opposite. Bailiff, hurry and summon Dr. Bonnie Young at once. Till we hear what she has to say. We cannot close the curtains on this case. Yes, ma'am. Understood. Dr. Young is a busy person. It will take some time for her to arrive. In the meantime, let us try viewing this case from another angle. So that's where my logic was getting thrown off. It's because the autopsy report was wrong. There's something that's been on my mind. So that so the blood that's on her hand, that makes so that follows everything then. The blood here is from her head wound, not from the chest wound. And then she must have taken off the raincoat and changed before being stabbed. The conductor. We still don't know who that person is. Now that you mention it, even after our investigation, we still have no idea who it is. The conductor has come up time and time again during this hearing. However, at this point in time, their identity remains a mystery. How about it? Do you have any ideas? I'm still not sure at the moment. However, there is someone I have in mind. A certain individual involved in this case, who might know something about it. Who's that? Blaze the Best! I demand your testimony. What? Don't say such a stupid thing. Why would you suspect Pops? Are you trying to cast suspicion towards the chairman of the PIC? Do you understand what that means? Status and prestige mean nothing before the truth. That man is trying to pin the crime on Kay. The evidence that was in Kay's possession The ticket stub, the mask, the corsage. These items did not come into our possession out of our own volition. By some method, that man purposely planted them on our personage. It is hard to believe such an accusation, but I'll ask just in case. Why would he do that? Obviously, to direct suspicion towards Kay. I succeeded in drawing out those words from him earlier. Mr. Chairman, your response? Are you too shocked to speak? And what of it? Question mark? Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said, what of it? You said that you drew out some words from me, but you don't have a shred of proof, you know. Ugh. No one else heard it but you. It just doesn't work like that, you see. Or do you have something else? You know, some kind of basis for your argument. His confidence. He's also shown it at the cell. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I would like you to explain once more. I trust we have your permission, Mr. Chairman. But of course, I'm pretty interested in this matter myself, you know. I'd like to know just what part of me seems criminal to Edgeworth. There's no one as honest as I am, you see. Ugh, how could you say that with such a straight face? Let's start from the top. The fact that the auction was held in this room is cause for suspicion. This is the PIC meeting room. I imagine it would be difficult for non-members to enter. That's why all the members have key cards, you know. I think we can assume that multiple auctions have been held here before. Therefore, suspecting a member of the PIC would be the best! Yes. Because the conductor had to have been a PIC member. Wait, no! What? What was that all about? What do I do, Pops? I just helped the enemy! Oh, ha ha ha, Sebastian really is an idiot, you know. But you see, Edgeworth, I'm not the only one with access. Indeed. There are 11 members in the PIC. Even if we rule out the victim, Miss Crane, there are still 10 potential suspects. That's pretty loud for 10 people. Well, 9 people. It couldn't be that the chairman, right? I don't know who it is, but whoever it is should just come forward. Yes, everyone, just calm down, you know. Edgeworth, is that all you've got? Where's the evidence to suspect me? Oh, so you've fallen silent. But you've gone too far, you see. I won't forgive you anymore. It's too late for regrets, you know. I'm a very important man, you see. Former chief prosecutor and chairman of the PIC. It's fine if you're not prepared to face the fire, you know. Because you see... Either way, it wouldn't make any difference. Oh my god, those eyes, dude. Cause I'm gonna bully you? That's the name of the testimony? You've been rambling on for quite a while about the most trivial details, you know. Like the location of the murder, the order of the wounds, and... what else was there? It just doesn't matter, you know. Because you see, none of that means anything, you know. Think about it. We've got the suspect herself saying she killed the victim. That's all that matters, you see. She'll even get a lighter sentence with her confession, you know. That... what? Now then, if there are any contradictions, be my guest. How can that be considered a testimony? There must be a contradiction somewhere. That person, he's very important, isn't he? Mr. Edgeworth, it's alright. Let's just give... Kate, can you... come on! Surely I must have killed her. I can even remember it. Don't be tied down by your muddled memories. If you want to believe in something. Believe in your own innocence. Believe in me, who believes in you. But, no buts. My opponent is the PIC chairman. Taking him down won't be easy. However, he has underestimated me. I can take advantage of that. I'm gonna press this one. What else was there? Question mark? Hold it!
Hold it!
The autopsy report, and the questions about the conductor. Were you even listening? Talk is cheap, you know. I was listening, you see, but I didn't think much of it, you know. You didn't think much of it even after I brought up all those issues? Perhaps your judgment needs to be questioned, rather than my ability as a prosecutor. Oh, that's a good one, Edgeworth. But you see... Suspect herself saying she killed the victim. Yeah, but after you guys forced her to say it, hold it!
Hold it!
It may be true she confessed. However, that does not make it the truth. She is suffering from memory loss, so we must question the credibility of her testimony. What's that? Even if you say that, you know, it still won't solve anything. What good will it do to deny her confession? Sounds like nonsense to me. Want to try asking her again? I think she'll just say that she's the murderer again, though. Very well. Let's try asking her again, one last time. I'd like to hear from Kay herself, whether or not she is the culprit. Huh? From me? Will that be alright? If this goes poorly, it will be quite unfavorable for you. I do not mind, however. I shall ask Kay the question myself. I'm moved to tears, you know. Oh, how touching, you know. How very touching. Fine, I'll let you ask her. However, I have one condition. If all this proves to be a waste of time, then that will be the end of it. How's that sound? The end? Of the hearing? Yes, yes. It seems you can be smart once in a while, Sebastian. In other words, you see, if she confesses again, Kay Faraday will be found, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Uh-oh. Yep, it's a fine idea. Guilty, beyond a shadow of a doubt? Yeah, that's right. That's harsh. But either way, if I do nothing, she'll be declared guilty. Kay! Yes? I know what I'm asking of you is unreasonable, but please, I want you to answer me. It doesn't matter how tiny it is. Do you remember anything? Anything that would prove your innocence? Why? Why would you go that far for me? I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to remember. Because I might have done something even worse. If that were the case, I would only make things worse for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay Faraday must have been a despicable criminal. Someone who betrayed your trust. Don't worry. We've only known each other for a short while. But I know you very well. I'd even say that I know you better than yourself, now that you've lost your memories. Oh my god! What? What? Excuse me? What? You okay? Am I missing something here? There's no way this isn't K. This is... But I can't present profiles in this one. K's memories? Take that!
Take that!
Okay. I would like you to look at this. Okay. But that's probably wrong, because I don't think you could just look at memories like that. This is your true identity. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't remember anything. That's why I'm pointing at your memories, because it's you. You're okay, Faraday. I might have done something even worse than murder. Okay, don't worry. Am I supposed to present the badge then? You're the Yatagarasu? Take that!
Take that!
I don't know what else it would be. Okay, okay. The great thief Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu is a noble thief who would never stoop to murder. No, it's useless! After all, no matter what, that memory still remains. This image that's stuck in my head. I just can't get rid of it. That means I must have... There's no clear evidence to prove that you're the culprit, besides your own confession. Remember what I said? You must believe in yourself. Or perhaps you cannot trust my words? No, that's not it. It's because you are trying to save someone like me. You've already lost so much, all for my sake. I can't bear it anymore. Please, please just give up. I see now. I thought it was strange. The reason you were acting like you wanted to be found guilty was because you were concerned about me. That is just like you, Kay. It's because you're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth. Unfortunately, I may fall short of your expectations. I am not trying to be a good person. No matter how much you may want me to give up, I'll keep trying to save you. That is the nature of who I am. Whether or not it is a burden for you is none of my concern. I love his bluntness. Kay, believe in yourself once more. You are a noble great thief. What you should be doubting is your memory of committing the murder. That is my wish, above all else. Please. Okay. Uh-oh. Did she faint? Kay? Oh no. Oh god. What's happening? What is it? Do you remember something? She remembers something now. Ha ha ha. It'd be like a bad movie. Alright. Bull? 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 Prosecutor Edgeworth, please ask her to clarify. Well, okay. What do you mean by bull? I remember now! The person in the red raincoat had that with her! Okay. Is that true, defendant? Yes, Your Honor. The court hereby accepts the defendant's statement as a new piece of testimony. Quit messing around, Courtney. A testimony like that cannot be accepted, you know. Your objection has been noted, sir. However, testimony about the victim's belongings has been lacking up until now. Nevertheless, you know, her vague memories cannot be trusted, you know. Her memories are vague? That would be bad for us as well. Didn't you say this earlier yourself, Chairman? Yeah. Since we have the suspect's confession, we don't need to worry about the trivial details. Yeah. all about... Your entire case is built on the fact that she confessed. So you can't doubt her memories, because then you're doubting yourself. Or your own case. If we decide to doubt her memories, then we must also doubt her confession, which is the main foundation of our case. Thanks, bro. Are you willing to do that, sir? You're right. Well, never mind then. I shall leave it to you. Thank you very much. How much did you miss? A decent amount. Kay's starting to remember stuff. We did it. It was touch and go for a while there, though. However, those words of Judge Courtney just now. It almost feels as if she's on our side. Yeah, this is weird. Kind of weird for her to suddenly be like this. I wonder what's caused her mind to change about the PIC. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you know anything about this stuffed animal? The stuffed animal Kay spoke of must have been this. Right. We found it in the storeroom. It is believed to be one of the items for the auction. How did it get back to the storeroom? This is... Do you know something about it, Justine? No, just a bit different from what I imagined. Indeed. Certainly not what I would have expected the victim to be carrying. Let's examine every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Okay, I mean, I always wondered why I only had one horn. The left horn is missing. There's a hole in this stuffed animal. It seems this hole is where the horn is inserted into. I guess its head isn't stuffed with cotton. I wonder what's inside. Perhaps I should examine the other side. The right horn seems to be fine, but the entire balance feels a bit off. This horn looks like you can move it. What? Oh my god? Was that... What was an electronic noise? What was that buzzing sound? It seems this toy is equipped with a recording device. Oh my god. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time. Is this the moment of the murder? Who could have recorded something like this? One of them has a burn mark. Well, we know that the victim has a burn mark. This is... There ain't no doubts about it. This here was what I heard. We cannot verify when these voices were recorded. It's also possible that they aren't related to the case at all. If only we had some video as well. That's hogwash. I'm telling ya. That right there was the conversation that I heard. The victim was holding on to it, right? I reckon that it must have been recorded when she got attacked. It certainly is a possibility. However, your testimony alone is insufficient. I require something with a little more credibility. Again, her words. Almost sounds as if she's trying to give me advice. Judge Courtney, there's no mistake that those voices were from the incident. Please recall the audio that was recorded by the stuffed animal. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. That means that Jill wasn't wearing the gloves. Which means she's not wearing the conductor's clothes. Which makes sense, because she's not the conductor. But it definitely means that she wasn't wearing the gloves. If we compare this part of the recording with a certain piece of evidence, we can prove it. Took place during the crime. I mean... We know that there's burn marks on the victim's hand. Does this prove that it took place during the crime? I mean, it could just be a giant coincidence, but I wonder if this is enough. There's nothing else that really relates to a burn. Let's try it. Take that!
Take that!
The autopsy report? And exactly what part of the autopsy report shows that? Must be the burn.
Take that!
The burn mark. I remember clearly what that voice said. You can't hide that burn from me. On the victim's hand, there was a burn mark. Indeed. It just happened to match up, you see. But what of it? According to Kay's testimony, the victim had been holding the stuffed animal. And it just happened to record a characteristic of the victim, namely the burn. That's just a coincidence. I mean, it could happen, right? I do not think so. It is hard to believe that all of this is simply a coincidence. Okay. The voices on the stuffed animal were most likely recorded during the incident. One of the voices must belong to the true culprit. From what we've heard, it must have been the one who was doing most of the talking. But what's the point? In the end, we still can't tell their gender or identity, you know. Indeed, because they had been using voice changes. It can't be helped. Seems the situation has become quite clear. The conversation Miss Hart overheard was between the culprit and Miss Crane. That's what I've been telling you from the start! And from this, we will understand a new fact. Please enlighten us then. I trust you have no objections, Mr. Chairman. Do what you want. According to Miss Hart's testimony, just before the incident, two people came up from the auction hall, using the lift. It must have been the conductor and one of the auction guests. They probably went there to settle the payment after winning a bid. And then, it was there that the crime was carried out. Since the auction continued after the crime took place, we are led to a single truth. The culprit is the conductor. It's the only one that makes sense. Since the conductor is the only one who could keep the auction going, we can conclude that the deceased victim could not have been the conductor. Justine. Please be quiet here, okay? If the conductor was not the victim, then they must have been the culprit. Please wait, that alone is insufficient. Of course. Even I do not intend to rely only upon the process of elimination. Certain traces left at the crime scene led me to believe that the culprit is the conductor. Well then, please show it to us. What were the traces left at the crime scene that led me to deduce the culprit is the conductor? It was the, There's one of these bloodstains, right? Which one first made him think that the culprit was the conductor? I think it was this. Yeah, to hide that the crime scene was actually in the top part. Take that!
Take that!
The culprit purposely left a large amount of blood in the meeting room. In doing so, we were led to believe the meeting room had been the scene of the crime. It was a ruse by the true culprit, to hide the blood that had fallen from the storeroom. So we wouldn't find out about the existence of the black market auction, correct? Indeed. If the culprit had been unrelated to the auction, there would have been no need to do such a thing. Ergo, the culprit could have only been the conductor. Well then, do you have any idea as to who the conductor might possibly be? I do indeed. The auction hall is at the PIC meeting room, and furthermore, there is a storeroom above it. The conductor must have been, at the very least, a member of the PIC. So, in other words, you suspect me, I take it? I do indeed. Isn't it natural to suspect you, the one with the most authority in the PIC? You are quite capable. I'll give you that much at least. But you know, like I said before, you're far too naive. You have nothing, you know. There's no evidence that proves I am the culprit, you see. If, by some chance, you do have evidence, then why don't you present it? Do I have evidence that Blaze is the culprit? No. If I had that, then I wouldn't be having this entire huge discussion. So... Blaze himself has suggested that he is the criminal. He's been showing that strange self-confidence for a while now. He knows that there is not a single piece of evidence left behind to incriminate him. Ha ha ha. If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, Edgeworth. Just kidding. I've always wanted to say that, you know. Well then, Courtney. Okay, this better be good. I reckon I just remembered something too. Huh? You also lost your memories? Nah, that ain't it. Just something popped into my head right now. Very well. Please. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. Very well. Please tell us.
Objection.
Courtney, could you tell me what you are doing? Prosecutor Edgeworth will not give up until we have destroyed every last possibility. I'm destroying every possibility, so that he will never oppose us again. Justine! I don't really know what's going on, but well said. Pops, I'm gonna help too. After all, he's the one who's wrong. Fine. Let's hear what she has to say. Well then, Miss Hart, please proceed. Sure thing. Just leave it to me. Please make sure you only tell the truth. Ain't that a matter of course? I'm a bona fide journalist of justice, you know. Somehow, I feel uneasy. Y'all saying the culprit was the conductor, right? That means the victim was a customer. Now, here's where it gets a mite strange. You see, there were 11 people at the auction. When the auction continued, after the incident, I went straight on over and snuck a peek down below. You don't mean... That's exactly what I mean. All 11 people were still there, present and accounted for. Okay. Are you sure about that? Sure, I'm sure. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. So it started with 11 people, and there were still 11 people after the murder. Was it a ghost? You know, Sebastian, normally a prosecutor would call that a contradiction, you know. Were there really no changes in the auction at all? Really? I'm telling you, the auction just went on like normal. Ah, but there was one itty bitty thing though. What was it? You know those hammers you always see at an auction? Like the one that lady is using over there? An auction gavel, perhaps? Yep, that's the one. All of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound no more. It'd be banging away just prior to it. The sound of the gavel. Why would the sound just stop? So the gavel disappeared, which means whoever was using the gavel must have stopped using the gavel. And we know who uses a gavel. That's Courtney. But there's no way Courtney was part of this, right? Alright, and then the whole thing of all 11 people being there means that... So, was Jill Crane even part of the auction then? If they were all still there? Maybe she wasn't a customer either. Maybe she was just there. I don't know, dude. If Miss Hart's testimony is the truth, then this matter has taken a grave turn. If the victim was neither the conductor nor a customer, the very foundation of Prosecutor Edgeworth's reasoning would collapse. Thanks, Lotta! I know she's just telling the truth, so it's fine. But it's great. Justice prevails, as they say. I'd hope you've learned your lesson, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? There really is nothing we can do. It's not over yet. Some mysteries still remain. We have to think. If I don't, then Kay will be. Did you get the answer you wanted this time? Well then, a deal's a deal. Please wait, Mr. Chairman. I believe it is still too early to make a judgment. There are still a few mysteries left in this case. Until we have solved them all, we cannot call this a complete victory. What? Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was expecting you to shout. Hold it! Like you always do. Yes, of course. Once again, Judge Courtney has come to my aid. Well then, what is it? What sort of mysteries are left? Well, of course. There's the contradiction in the autopsy report. Right. Is Bonnie still not free? That kind of thing. I brought her in. There we go. What's wrong? Why were we suddenly called here? Did someone suddenly get sick? I'll begin preparing a compress. Stat! Ow. What'd you call me here for? Did something happen? Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking the trouble to come here. This won't take long, so please relax. Tell me what in blazes is going on? Of course. We called you here because something came up. Judge Courtney, just what are you planning? Bonnie Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct? Granny would never make a mistake. That's certainly strange. Huh? What's strange? Sorry. This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth. Did you falsify the autopsy report? That's terrible! How can you accuse her of that? I have no idea what you are talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place? To protect the true culprit, of course. What you talking about? I would never do such a thing. How strange. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you think? Oh, I expected you to press into a statement like you normally do. Why is she taking control of the situation and trying to help me? I don't know what her goal is. Me neither! Why? She's never done this in any of the previous cases, even though she was wrong 3 times in a row. So, oh, well, 2 times in a row. So I'm just confused why all of a sudden she's just taking my side against the PIC. Unless she has like a huge part. I wonder if she has a bigger part to play in the actual murder. If the autopsy report you gave to Sebastian had been authentic, then the error should not have been there. What? Wait a minute. I didn't do anything! This is what we will figure out from this point on. Firstly, Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony. Why do you want to hear her testimony? It would be pointless. I will be the one who decides whether or not it's pointless, not you. There are patients waiting for us. But, Granny, ow! Anyway, we don't have time for this. Is there any way I could convince you? This is of the utmost importance. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify, so please, try to finish this quickly. If we don't return soon, there will be people in terrible suffering. And yet, you were lollygagging about on the viewing platform earlier. I promise you, this won't take long. Only if she tells me the truth, of course. Yeah, just admit you done messed up. Well, that's a good start. There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. I've been working with corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. How? I've got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report. True that she has nothing to gain? Yes, that's right, you know. There's no way she would falsify it, you see. Under the name of the goddess of law, do you swear that this testimony is the truth? Of course! Granny would never tell a lie! We were asking Dr. Young. We do not need to hear from a third party. I'm not a third party! I'm on Granny's side! Wait, what if she's lying on behalf of her Granny? But the Granny can't say anything, because she's translating. I will definitely expose the contradiction in the autopsy report. Press this. Hold it!
Hold it!
I can't think of anything that should gain from, you know, falsifying the autopsy report. You may have nothing to gain, but how about your granddaughter? Me? There isn't anything I could gain. If Karen had something to gain, then that girl of yours might have something too. How dare you accuse my little girl, who has never done harm to anybody? Yeah! Aren't you ashamed of yourself? You should address those words to Blaze instead of me. I swear that the autopsy report wasn't falsified. Do that every time. Okay, but you did. Hold it! Like, I can present the autopsy report, but I don't know if Edgeworth is gonna point it out. I want to figure out what's going on. Why did she do it? The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head, and yet there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it was impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem. Okay, he said it anyway, without me having to present it. Well that's... Ow. I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning. The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different. Yeah. I relayed to Karen what to put down in the autopsy report. After that, it was none of my beeswax. Relayed to Karen? Please elaborate on that. So why would Karen falsify it? What reason does she have? Yeah, I'm gonna press this first. Hold it!
Hold it!
I would like to verify once again what you saw when you've examined the body. Like we said. Oh, well, about that. Oh. Do you know what happened? Oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to read this again. Before she died, of course, the wounds on her chest were post-mortem. That's what I relayed to Karen. So that's what should have been written in the report. That's what you relayed to her, eh? I'm finally beginning to see the truth. Right. Should I present the autopsy report then? To show that it's wrong. Objection! No? Oh, yeah! That was quite the debate. Yeah, the music didn't stop and I was like, oh, it's wrong. Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes. Ah, I'll read it out for you. Ouch. Oh, she's sweating. This autopsy report wasn't written by me. What? What do you mean? Again with the slap, dude. I don't know. But Granny, I can't say that. Miss Jensen, if you are trying to keep the truth in the dark, then, in place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession. Judge Courtney is talking with Dr. Young in private. What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else. Dr. Young, I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down. Wow, she mimicked her voice perfectly. Oh, okay. There was no need. Oh, I didn't know that she was gonna do that. Reminds me of the, when was it? When Godot did the voice of Lotta. Was it Lotta? Godot did the voice of someone. And then I read it out as Godot. Desiree, that was it. I read it out loud as Godot's voice doing Desiree's voice. I think there's a clip of that somewhere. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report had been falsified. By your hands, Miss Jensen. Oh, With that, we've proven that the wound on her head came first, followed by the chest wound. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report? Yeah, I just remember the music, but that they also played for Desiree. Hold on a second. She never said she falsified it, you know. She just made a teeny tiny mistake when she wrote it down. That's a huge mistake, dude. Postmortem and antemortem sound kind of similar, you know. Yeah, but they mean the opposite thing. That is the very definition of falsification. Miss Jensen, why would you lie? Kay. I want you to tell me too. Why would you do something like that? Oh my god, that's... Thanks for finding it, Omega. Granny, but I... Because you falsified the autopsy report. Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it. I can't say. I just can't say it. Not I don't want to say, but I can't say it. Is she being blackmailed? You're all a bunch of bullies, you know. Ganging up on this poor girl who loves her grandmother so. She is totally unrelated to this. I think we can forgive her for one tiny mistake. She might be blackmailed. Might be being blackmailed. That won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies? What are you saying? You see, as a former prosecutor, you'll have to speak a little more clearly, you know. I'm gonna slap you, dude. Very well, as you wish. I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in the case. She was the victim, dude. She was an accomplice. Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit. Ah! How? Ha ha ha. This girl is an accomplice. What's your basis for that claim? It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least two people, namely because... I mean, the report couldn't have been faked specifically because of Karen, not because of the two people. So I don't think that's it. The victim couldn't have been moved. No. Couldn't move the victim if you're just one person, unless you're really weak. Number of people wouldn't match. Yeah, because Lotta said that she saw 11. So the murderer must have had an accomplice, and so that they would still be in the auction hall. I think that makes sense, based on Lotta's testimony. Hi, Piki. If the conductor was the culprit and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident. Lotta was useful. What now? You got a problem with my testimony? Oh no, on the contrary. Not at all. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony. That's why an accomplice must exist. So, you still won't admit that your reasoning is wrong? Up until now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. That's true. However, if there had been an accomplice, it changes the entire story completely. If the accomplice took the murdered action, the murdered auction guest's place, then the number of people remains 11. Right. And if the conductor was the one with the gavel, then that also makes sense too. The only thing is, Blaze doesn't use a gavel. Courtney uses a gavel. So what does that mean? What does the gavel have to do with it? Oh, I see now. So that's what you were thinking. Don't you know? Wouldn't that have been quickly discovered? Miss Jensen and the victim have similar physiques. If she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place. Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim? I wouldn't! Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me who was the true culprit. I can't. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. But Granny... I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything. Oh. Oh my god. As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice. Miss Jensen, why? Yeah, the true way to peel an onion. Just keep slapping it until it opens up. Miss Jensen, would you please tell us? Yes. It's okay, Granny. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane. So you admit to being the conductor's accomplice? Yes. I helped out the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason... Wait, how did it... Okay. Wow, she fixed that real quick. The conductor was expecting to be attacked by Miss Crane. The conductor expected an attack from the victim? They were so sure it was going to happen that they came up with a plan to counter it. A way to beat the victim at her own game. And that's when I was called in. I was told to wait in the storeroom before the auction began.
Whoa there! You ain't fooling my eyes. If you were waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, I've been up in that storeroom the entire auction. I'm telling the truth.
I wonder about that, you know. Can we really believe a girl who would falsify a report?
There should have been many places to hide in that storeroom.
Then by all means, tell me, where did our little nurse hide? If she could have hidden in the trunk, because Lotta said that she couldn't get into the trunk, right? Initially, and then it was opened up afterwards. Maybe she pulled some Houdini act to get past the chains? I don't know. The place in the storeroom where Miss Jensen hid was my first thought. Take that!
Take that!
She hid inside the costume trunk. Nice. A costume trunk, eh?
Ah, now that you mention it, that box was already there before I snuck in. I figured I would hide in there myself, but it was wrapped up nice and tight with a chain. And it was locked too, so I had to give it up.
I suspect that when you sneaked into the room, Miss Jensen was already inside the trunk. Right. How did she get out, though, from the chains? That's the question.
Yes, it would have been bad if one of the guests from the auction had opened the lid. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped a chain around the costume trunk. I think they went downstairs using the lift shortly thereafter. It was right before the auction.
So then, when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were in the storeroom.
Yes, that should have been right.
Jill and conductor.
The auction had been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed a crime.
Oh, so the conductor came out and opened the chains. I see.
Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then. You betcha! I was trembling behind that there statue the whole time!
Following the altercation, Jill Crane was murdered. After killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried her body to the costume trunk, opened the chains and boxes, and Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costumes trunk. The conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane, I see, and returned to the auction as if nothing had happened. Was this roughly what happened in the storeroom during the incident?
Yes, that's right. Pulling the old switcheroo with one of the auction guests. Ain't that impossible? That gal and the murder victim are two completely different people, you know? Don't you reckon one of the other participants would have noticed and caused a ruckus?
No, because they had masks on and they had voice changes. No, not at all. The reason they didn't notice the switch was because okay, I thought they were gonna do mask and voice, but the clothes too, right? Because Jill's clothes are different. From what I can tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appeared to have a similar physique. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person.
Yes, I blended right in. I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and... Ow! You mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know. I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered her up in the raincoat.
Ah,
I see.
covered her up in the raincoat that was up for auction. So she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. Interesting. And then the auction resumed as if nothing had happened. I reckon I took the picture of her in the red raincoat after that. That'd make all the facts line up. After I took the photo, I went over to the lift to sneak a peek down below.
I witnessed the 11 participants, and then I hightailed it back behind the statue. Don't tell me you were hiding there the entire time until we found you? Nah, that's... how should I put it? What is it? Something happened? I didn't mention it before, but after that, I might have dozed off for a little. Until we found... you slept until we found you. Okay. She's crazy. To be more precise, I fainted? Well, something like that. So something did happen. It ain't no big deal. Kinda embarrassing to say though. There was this huge thump sound all of a sudden. I was a little surprised by that. It was right after I had just witnessed a murder, so I was shaking in my boots. My heart sort of tightened up, and I was off to La La Land. When I woke up, it was already the next day, around the time y'all came by the storeroom. I see. So there was a large sound. It's hard. I take it you do not know what transpired in the storeroom beyond this point. I guess. The loud sound must have been Kay falling into the storeroom. Right? Must have been. What else would make a huge sound like that? No guns were fired off. I guess. But after the auction, all the masks were properly returned. So I reckon the participants had exited the storeroom, just like I done said. Miss Jensen, what were your actions after the auction resumed? I took the victim's place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume trunk, because the body was inside it. It would have been bad if another auction guest won the bid for it. You didn't realize the box was empty? No, we only found out when I came up to the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder. Okay, it was here. That must have been what the thump was. 100%. Well, not 100%. Yes, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness. Maybe the victim left the hatch open when she went up to the rooftop. I understand now. Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim. Did not notice the open hatch. She must have missed her footing and fell down into the storeroom. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor. Okay. That might have been it, though I reckon it'd be kind of pathetic to faint over something like that. When Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay, Miss Hart was also unconscious behind the statue. The situation is becoming clearer to me. Miss Jensen, please continue your story. After I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk. If the customers at the auction found out, there would have been a huge commotion. Was this an order from the conductor as well? Yes, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing. So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence. Finally, we dressed Miss Crane in the spare conductor's outfit. I see. In doing so, we made the victim appear as if she was the conductor. In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything. Miss Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back. I want to help you more, but that is all I know. If I had to say, there is just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Crane's place, I borrowed her clothes. But there was no way for me to borrow her hair. Ow. What kind of coroner's assistant goes around stealing the corpse's hair? I think that robbing the deceased of their clothes would be questionable enough. Both the colour and the length of our hair is different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. However, the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had two of them. Inside the costume trunk there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig. What? Why were there two wigs? Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution in case the victim had changed their hairstyle? I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's head. That means the wavy wig was left unused. But it's definitely not there anymore. Is that really all you know? Yes. Yep, that's really all I know. So that means you don't know who the conductor is. I'm sorry. I only knew that person as the auction conductor. I never saw that person without the mask on. The conductor seemed to be on guard, towards everybody. Ugh. At this rate. Ha 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 ha! Oops. Sorry. I just checking my OBS frames every now and then, just to make sure. Edgeworth, is that all you've got? Even if that little nurse is the accomplice, it changes absolutely nothing, you know. In the end, the true culprit is still Kay Faraday. All you did was add another criminal, you know. The rule of law cannot be overturned. At least not for your sake. This is as far as I go? Am I unable to save Kay? Objection! Oh, hi, Francisca! I recognize that objection. Francisca, why are you here? Didn't I tell you, Miles Edgeworth? Wherever there is a case, I will follow. Prosecutor Von Karma, your hard work is most appreciated. However, don't get the wrong idea. I only came here to find out the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path. I understand. You should thank your former subordinate. He gave me some valuable information, which may save Kay Faraday. Detective Gumshoe did? Listen well, Miles Edgeworth. This will be the final piece of evidence. Jill Crane suffered the wound on her head first. I know this already! Come on! Well, someone say something! Well, I hate to say it, but if you were like an hour earlier, this would have been fantastic. We already proved that. Already proved? Yes. Well, just a few minutes. Ah! You should have told me sooner! How? You're the one who barged in here and started talking. Well then, does that mean you found out what the murder weapon was already? No, not yet. Oh yeah, guess we haven't done that yet. Is that so? In that case, listen well. We don't know what was used to hit the victim over the head. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt cylindrical object. The wound on her chest was suffered post-mortem. A cylindrical murder weapon.
Objection!
You know, this report of yours. I trust it's accurate, of course. These were the results of 2 independent autopsies, carried out by 2 respected doctors.
Objection!
That's reassuring, but it's too bad. You have no right to investigate this. Interpol is after the black market auctions, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of the investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it is only natural for me to investigate. Especially now that she's been murdered. I see. Clever girl. Little Von Karma. Then, it has been settled. The victim died from blunt force trauma to the head. Cylindrical object. Like the gavel? Like a gavel? Was she hit over the head with a gavel? Autopsy report updated, dude. Sorry, I didn't clock it because I just thought about the gavel. Play the thing. Alright. Just for you, chat. Where is it? No! YouTube!
Can you hear it? You can't hear it! Wait! Dude, you know this video has over 2 million views now? You probably can't hear me because the it's really loud. I'm looking at OBS. When my chat first showed me this, it had like, I think like 600,000 views, maybe less, like 400,000 views. And now it has over 2 million. That was less than a year ago. Same. I remember when it hit 1 million. Sorry, I should have played it on the autopsy screen. I was just thinking about the gavel. Yeah, my stream sometimes my when we played Investigations 1, all we did was just quote lines from this every now and then in chat. So people who are outside the loop are really confused when other people in chat were just like, I'll shove my entire cravat up. Okay, let's keep going. Unfortunately, the murder weapon is yet to be found. Oh, whoops. Just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea as to what it might be. I'm gonna tunnel on the fact that it's gonna be a gavel for the rest of the case. Hey! In my investigation, we didn't find any other murder weapons, you know? If you consider the conductor's possessions and the crime scene, the answer should be clear. The blunt cylindrical object used in the auction hall was... Oh, okay. Well, never mind, I guess. My big brain moment was... I mean, it's true, but, you know, it's gonna be revealed already. Which one, though? Is it really Courtney? Am I about to blame Courtney here as the conductor? Just because she's the conductor doesn't mean she's the murderer, necessarily. It could just be like a general auction gavel. Because it was at the auction, right? No, I don't... okay, let's go with auction gavel, because it happened at the auction, and then from Lotta's testimony, the gavel noises stopped. But if that's wrong, I guess we'll point fingers at Courtney. It was something the conductor had in their hand during the auction. Namely, an auction gavel. An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that. If the culprit is the conductor, it is possible that the gavel may be the murder weapon. However, that alone is not enough reason. Wouldn't you agree? Of course, I have proof to back it up. This piece of evidence proves that the murder weapon is the auction gavel. Just point at Lotta. That's the wrong one. Oops. Take that! According to Miss Hart's testimony, after the victim had been murdered, it seems she suddenly stopped hearing the sound of the gavel during the auction. However, she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you ask? It was because it had been used as the murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it. Isn't that right? Blaze the best! I'll have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Well, good luck with that, you know. You gotta work hard as you... Oh my god, I can't read. You gotta work as hard as you can while you're young, you see? He's completely confident that we won't find it. He's even using the eyebrow twitch. Hi, Nesta. Well then, while the search for the murder weapon continues, I hereby call for a brief recess. T... I didn't save during that entire thing. I'm glad the game isn't crashing anymore. I don't know why it started. I guess it was just case 1 and once in case 2 that it crashed. It didn't crash at all in case 3, and then it hasn't crashed in case 4. Alright, we're going all the way. Let's go. Francisca, show me the gavel. 9:18 in the morning. Let me see. Order in the court. Prosecutor Von Karma, your report, please. Oh, rip. Never mind. She's useless. I have bad news. We searched every inch of the Grand Tower, but the auction gavel was nowhere to be found. Rip. That just means he has it on him. We have to search him. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict already. Well, it sure seems that way, you know. Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind the murder weapon, you know. The best criminals will never do something like that, you see. Ugh. Don't have enough information. Is this as far as I can go? Yes, yes. It's a shame, you know. But it can't be helped, you see. This takes me back, you know. All those defendants who came to me, asking for a plea bargain, they trusted me, you know. Told me every one of their dirty little secrets, you see. And when it came time for the trial, I'd get them sentenced to life in prison. They were all complete dumbstruck, you know. Each and every one of them. Wow. This guy is terrible. Ha ha ha. Oh, how I wish you all could have seen it, you know. The stupid look on their faces. I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the law. There's nothing more I can do. This, both Kay and I are... If only we had some evidence! Never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this. Is this the end? What's she gonna say? The defendant. Blaze, the best! Oh, snap! What a turnabout! I hereby indict you. What? What? Uh-oh. What's gotten into you all of a sudden? I have... Oh my god, she's facing the other way. I have here documents regarding a certain case. The IS-7 incident. A case that happened 18 years ago. Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... What does he have to do with the IS-7 incident? On the day of the crime, the record of your keycard being used was because... I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seems it was before the black market auction had begun. At first, I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. At that time, I simply could not tell you the truth. Oh snap. What are you doing, Justine? Why are you indicting Pops? Sorry, I'm not reading this out loud. I figured I didn't. I'm guessing it's just a summary of case 3. Oh yeah, we never talked about the suns, dude. It was just a red herring in case 3, but we never actually talked about where they were. They were just like, oh, they went missing. I wonder if that's going to be useful here. What are you doing, Joe? Oh, sorry, I just read that out loud.
Without any basis. This is slander! That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course, there is a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Karma fabricated information regarding the body. That was because the body of the sculptor, Isaac Dover, had been stolen. Papa fabricated information about a body? What do you mean? Detective Lacey, who handled the initial investigation, reported that the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive Prosecutor von Karma, there is a person who purposely did not report to him that the body had disappeared. Lacey replace her. What? What did you say? That person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report. Oh, she wrote the autopsy report. Fake autopsy report? Oh, right, yeah, the fake one, because the body was never discovered. So Manfred von Karma, yeah, I remember that. Interesting, I like how that ties together. Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey. Yeah, so for those of you who don't remember from case 3, or if you didn't get to watch case 3, the body went missing. Nobody knew where it was, but Manfred von Karma decided to say that he had the body, he just didn't want to show it to anybody, and had an autopsy report falsified. So that's where this comes in. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey. That person was the chief prosecutor at the time. Not von Karma? Oh, Blaze! He was the chief prosecutor 18 years ago! It was none other than you, Blaze the Best. What are you saying? Pops would never do something like that! Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Dude, you weren't even born when this was happening. Just... Shh. Blaze the Best, do you have a rebuttal? Fabricating stuff about the body. Von Karma did all that on his own, you know. Falsifying the autopsy report? Young, you would actually do something like that? Man, you really did some terrible things behind my back, you know. Seeing as how all the parties concerned are here today, we should ask them directly. Please wait! Granny is... Granny? I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Yup. Because if I didn't, he said that he would expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. Oh my god, it's all unraveling. That's what that man, the conductor, told me. So, Miss Jensen was being threatened. So she was being blackmailed. Let's go. I mean, you know, not cheering for blackmail. I'm just like, you know. Was the conductor who threatened you Blaze the best? Right. That's what I just mentioned. Yeah, that's why I was surprised. I was like, wait, it was the chief prosecutor. It wasn't Von Karma. That I don't know. That person who threatened me was the auction conductor. They do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face. How did he hide that beard, though? Any trivial thing is fine. Give us a characteristic that could be a clue. That's right. The conductor's mask. It exposed just a tiny part of his face. There was a tattoo there. I'm sure of it. Oh my god, it's a fake beard. It's a fake beard. It's a fake beard, isn't it? He has a tattoo under there. If the mask is like here and it exposed part of his face, but he didn't have his beard, it's a fake beard. It must be.
Objection.
You're confused now? So, okay. So my line of thinking, this is you know, galaxy brain, right? Is, well, the conductor is him. Like, we're pretty sure on that, right? We are pretty sure. We don't have evidence to prove it yet. We are pretty sure on it. And he was wearing that mask. Which mask? Oh, we don't have that. But that mask, which only covers this part of his face, which means this part is not, you know, exposed. And she just said that he had a facial tattoo. Okay. So that must mean that if that's him, then he doesn't have the beard on when he's wearing the mask, because he's showing his facial tattoo. Which means that the beard is fake! And we have to rip it off his face. If I was there right now, I would just yank on his beard. I really have no idea what you're talking about, you know. As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see. So that person doesn't match me at all, you know. That person who threatened her, this so-called conductor, I wonder who it is, you know. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, but it has to be fake, right? Oh no, I wouldn't say why I'm doing it. I'll just pull on his beard, and then if he's like, "What are you doing?" I'll just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my hand slipped." It's fine. It's okay. Foolproof plan. You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say. Hasn't he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess? Jill Crane has been pursuing you, just as I have. And I will not let her death be in vain. Crane was, you know, you say she was pursuing me. My, I didn't really know her that well, you know. Oh. I don't mind girls chasing after me, oh, ew. But I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see. Shh. You didn't know the victim well? That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now. Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you shall give us an official testimony. I see. Everyone is bullying me. If you're gonna go that far, that's fine, see. I'll just have to make you disappear. Every last one of you! Excuse me? Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. Oh my god, look at the squad I have. I have Courtney, Edgeworth, Francisca, and Lotta all on one side. Crazy. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that line out. Please, do not let this chance go to waste.
Yes, yeah, I wish Emma was here in the room too. I mean, she helped, but she's not in the room with her. I promise I will live up to your expectations. Now then, Blaze the Best. You shall testify regarding the victim. Oh, yes, presto beam! The victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee, you see? Personally, I didn't really know her that well, you know? Either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know? I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see? Alright. You intend to deny your guilt until the bitter end, don't you? Of course he does! There's no way Pops could be the criminal. I mean, he's my Pops, you know? He's the very best, like no one ever was. Yes, yes, Sebastian. If you're gonna stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, you know? Alright, I got it. I'll clear you of these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you, Pops. We won't lose to someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, yes. You really are pure, you know.
That person, he really loves his father, doesn't he?
However, one must be able to accept the mistakes of their father. Wow, powerful. No matter how much they may look up to him. Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are. This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but I simply cannot overlook his father's crimes. Okay. Didn't really know that well. I'm gonna press this one. Hold it! Was there ever any trouble between you two over work? Ha ha ha. Unlikely, you know. I'm kind of important, you see. I've gotten reports saying that she was exceedingly capable. But you know, our social status was completely different, you see. So we didn't talk much, you know. That may be true, but it doesn't prove that you didn't kill her. That's rather prejudiced, you know. I mean, look at you. You're taking the side of a criminal. It seems Miss Crane was the one who had an interest in you, Mr. Chairman. You know, that really is a mystery. I haven't the faintest idea, you see. So that's that. Since I had no motive, your reasoning doesn't hold. Didn't tell us anything new. No idea. Alright, let's press this. Hold it! How well did you not know her? That's not... You know what I'm trying to say. So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim. That's right. I didn't even know about the burn mark on Crane's hand, you see. You didn't know about the burn mark? Well, you see, even if I had gone close to her, she would have disappeared soon. It's a pain to remember someone, you know, when they're just gonna disappear, you see. Disappear. In other words, anyone who defies him disappears. Oh boy. I would like you to add your statement about the victim's burn to your testimony. What happened? Evidence to contradict this? I don't think so. I mean, we know that the victim had a burn mark. I mean, she wasn't wearing the gloves anyway, right? Because the clothes were switched out. I'm gonna press it first. Hold it! So you're saying that you didn't know anything about the victim's burn? Is that really the truth? Hi, Vi! You are persistent, you know. Oh, you really are persistent, you know. Do you really think I would pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand? I would think the burn mark on the victim's hand would be hard to miss. Now that you mention it,
Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I too did not know about the burn until the incident occurred. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. I thought so. She was probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see. I understand how sensitive a woman can be about these things, you know. I would like you to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony. She was wearing gloves to hide the bun. She wasn't trying to hide the burn mark. What was she trying to hide? Hold it! You press this, because I don't know. So you were aware that she always wore gloves? Well, those gloves were practically her trademark, you see. But I guess they weren't just a fashion statement. She wanted to hide her burn mark, you know. I wonder if that girl over there is also hiding something under her bandages. Huh? I'm not hiding anything. I think you are, you know. You're hiding the face of a criminal. Shh. Those words should be directed at someone like you. I shall expose, here and now, the face of a true criminal. Ha ha ha. How amusing. Go ahead and try it, if you think you can. So, Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. That's interesting. I should look over the evidence one more time. I don't know. I haven't had a eureka moment. Regularly wore gloves. Okay. She was in... I mean, she was in this outfit when she died, but she wasn't wearing these gloves because this was just given to her as part of the conductor and Karen's plan. Who's wearing these gloves? What does that have to? How does that contradict though? That's 12 years ago. Still don't know what that means. At least you get to hear the Presto theme for a while. Oh, yeah, wait, what did this audio say? Hang on, play it again. Yes, we can play. Something about the burn mark, right? If she was wearing gloves, then why would the... Yeah, that makes sense. If she was wearing gloves, how could the culprit see the burn? Which means she wasn't wearing gloves. Which means she wasn't wearing gloves. Which means he must have known about... No, wait, does that follow? Because he said he'd only just learned about the burn.
I mean, this is the one that's related to the burn mark, right? But that this means that she must have not been wearing gloves. Which contradicts his statement. Yeah, so this is right. This is good. Objection! Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that is true, then it creates a huge contradiction. Okay, good. Oh, a huge contradiction, you say? I would like you to listen to the voices recorded on the stuffed animal. One more time. Okay, it's gonna play again. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. But how do I prove that it's his voice? We were under the impression that this was the moment when the victim was murdered. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought that this statement was said by the culprit. Isn't that fine? What's the problem? Yeah. What? There is a huge problem with that. The victim had been wearing gloves from the start. Right. So she wasn't wearing gloves? Or are you saying that she was still wearing gloves? Okay, Edgeworth has lost me. I know. You have to catch me up, Edgeworth. I'm sorry. Gloves come off very easily, you know. She could have taken them off during the auction. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She wasn't wearing gloves, right? That's not true! Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place. Okay, now that changes things. So, why would the culprit say that? Unless... What are you saying? Hugh, don't you understand the position you're in? I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me. Blaze, your day of reckoning has finally come. Somehow, it seems like you all want to disappear. He was close to burning it off. The only one who will be disappearing here is you, Blaze the Best. Hey, how dare you say that to Pops? Does it really matter if the burn mark was visible or not? Yes, dude. It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation. What are you saying? If the victim's burn mark wasn't visible, what exactly does that tell you? Oh! What if the voices are the other way around? What if it's Jill saying that? And the culprit also has a burn mark, and she is wearing gloves. Because we can't tell, because it's a voice changer, we can't tell whose voice is who. Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then her burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen? Someone else's burn mark? Precisely. The culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit, but the victim. What?
Objection.
Right. Sebastian, could you please step aside? Edgeworth, all your reasoning up until now is just a figment of your imagination, you know? The culprit had a burn mark. Where was it, you know? If you can't answer that, then your logic doesn't hold up, you know? Where was the culprit's burn mark?
Is that what the facial tattoo was that Karen saw? I wonder where the burn mark could have been. During the auction, wasn't everyone wearing a disguise? Indeed, during the auction, everyone should have been dressed in a particular way. If the burn mark was still visible under those conditions, then... Now! Why don't you show us? The facial tattoo. Didn't I get evidence of the facial tattoo? Yeah. Take that! It was what the conductor was wearing during the auction. In other words, the outfit you were wearing at the time. Ha 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 ha! What can you figure out from the clothes alone? The conductor had been wearing a white suit, white gloves, and a mask. His attire had covered up most of his skin. However, according to Miss Jensen's testimony, the conductor's mask exposed a small part of his face. Is this the moment where we get the yank on his beard? Please. In addition, while she thought there had been a tattoo there, it's possible that she simply mistook the burn mark for a tattoo. A burn mark? On his face? That's all very scintillating, but I'm afraid you're getting excited over nothing, you know. None of the PIC members have any burn marks on their faces, you see. Naturally, that includes me as well, you know. But Pops? But... Sebastian, could you please be quiet? If you're an idiot, then act like one, you know? Oh, he knows! Sebastian knows! Normally, Sebastian is a nuisance to everyone around him. But this time, I owe him my gratitude. That reaction from Blaze's own son. It reveals the truth more clearly than anything else. Thanks to him, I am confident that my reasoning is correct. I know who that unidentified piece of evidence belongs to. I wonder what's wrong with that prosecutor. Okay. Usually, Sebastian is slower to arrive at the truth than anyone else. However, this time, he has probably figured it out. His own father is a criminal. Since he knows the truth, he's in pain, isn't he? If we didn't know the truth, he could have remained blissful in his ignorance. Okay, we are here in order to pursue the truth. It doesn't matter what path my reasoning takes. The important thing is to arrive at the truth. Once before, when I lost faith in my reasoning, you said that to me, and showed me the way. This time, I'll show you the truth. You are innocent. I also want to know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, please tell me. Yes, that's the spirit. Ha 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 ha! That's impossible, you know. For all of you. I mean, just where could I possibly have a burn mark? Please let me pull on your beard. Please! It's nowhere to be found, you see. There's no evidence to prove that I'm the culprit, you know. Yeah, that's right. There's no contradiction at all. There's no way there can be a contradiction. Not for my pops. Sebastian, I understand why you don't want to admit it. However, if you avert your eyes from the truth, you will regret it forever. Pops! What should I do? Oh, I really wonder why you're such an idiot, you know. Sebastian, if you really want to save me, you'll have to try a little bit harder, you see. Gotta use your head, you know. Honestly, you really are a useless idiot. No way! But I tried real hard! I tried my best, Pops! I went to the school you told me to go to, reached the top of my class, just like you told me to. Just look at this jacket! Only someone who graduates at the top of his class gets to wear it. I did everything you told me to do. That's how I got to be the best at the academy. I even won all those awards. Just so I could be like you, Pops.
Objection.
You really are such an idiot. Oh my god, dude. Please. You know, those gold stars you got on your tests, I made the teachers give them to you. Every speech and debate contest, all the judges were my friends. Oh my god, dude! You know, Sebastian, if you weren't even able to notice something like that, you're really not worthy of being called my son. Wow! Holy crap! Don't you think? Actually, I feel really bad for him. Oh my god. Even my son has disappeared. Ha 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 ha. Oh my, it's enough to make me cry, you know. He was trying his best for me, and yet he was totally useless, you know. You are truly a despicable person, as the chairman of the PIC, and as a father. Even I feel sorry for that foolish prosecutor. Poor Mr. Prosecutor. Blaze the best! You! Just what do you think of your own son? He's just a useless pawn, you see. Whoa now. Maybe you should look in the mirror before you criticize me, you know. I mean, even you. You also used Sebastian to get close to me, didn't you? I cannot deny that. However, he is not a mere pawn. He always tries to do his very best, even if the results aren't up to par. That's true. He does try. He does try. I've seen just how hard he tries, and yet you refuse to even acknowledge it.
Objection.
Ha! That kid is no good, you see, no matter what he does or is told to do. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall leave this offering to the goddess of law, to you. Deliver her divine judgment against Blaze the Best. Yes, that was my intention. From the beginning. If there was a burn mark on the conductor's face, then Blaze the Best must be hiding it. What was he wearing during the auction? A fake beard. Come on! That is the key to revealing the truth. Well then, allow me to hear your answer. Please show the piece of evidence that proves the culprit. Wait. I thought I was just gonna. Okay. I have evidence to prove that he's wearing a fake beard. I just want to pull on his beard, dude. It was Karen who said it. That he had a facial tattoo. Sorry, I'm trying to see. I was so tunneling on the fact that we were just gonna pull off his beard that I didn't think I'd have to prove it beforehand.
That's the other wig! Oh my god! That's what the other wig is! Take that.
Take that!
Wow, dude. That was like a real... Like, I could feel the light switch just turn on my head when I read that statement again about the two wigs. If you would recall Miss Jensen's testimony, there's still one point that remains unexplained. 2 types of wigs had been prepared, one of which was left unused. Do you mean the wavy wig? What are you talking about? It was something Miss Jensen found when we switched places with the victim. What was something like that have to do with the burn? Does anything happen to you? So good. It reminds me of the metal detector as well from 1-4. You just have that big brain moment and you're like, oh wow, just use this. Inside the costume trunk, Miss Jensen witnessed 2 wigs. One of them had been used by Mr. Jensen to make her look like the victim. Now then, just what was the other wig used for? It doesn't seem like it was a spare wig. There's no need to overthink it. Just compare the attire of the true culprit, the conductor, with that of Blaze the Best. Don't stare at me like that! Don't you think there's just one spot where there is a huge contradiction? Specifically, around his face. So that's... not a wig at all? Indeed, it was no wig. Blaze the Best, it was your fake beard! Oh, I thought it was gonna burn off. Ha ha ha, this is a real beard, you know. Don't tease me like that, Edgeworth. Please, please, just pull it off his face. Your son must have realized the truth before anyone else. It's all I've wanted for like the last hour. That's why he was trying so desperately to protect you. You were also worried that he would tell the truth. Isn't that why you drove your son away from here? Because he knew that his father was hiding a burn under his fake beard. Blaze the Best. How about you remove that fake beard of yours? Oh my god. All of his head! Not just his beard, his entire head. That really is a used lit moment. Justice has been served by the goddess of law. For that, I give you my thanks. I do remember saying that, PQ, but that was a joke. I should be the one thanking you. Blaze the Best, I hereby announce my verdict. You shall be taken into custody for the murder of Jill Crane. GG. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you very much. I am so happy that you believed in me to the very end. Now the only thing I'm not quite clear on is exactly what happened with in the confrontation between Jill and Kay. But maybe they'll explain a bit more. So. There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor, No, as a friend. I simply wanted to save you. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I bring good tidings. It seems that former Chairman DeBest has been safely detained in the detention center. However, the search for the murder weapon, the auction gavel, continues. Oh. Blaise DeBest is a shrewd man. There is a good chance that he has already disposed of it. There is also one piece of testimony that concerns me. Blaise DeBest mentioned that the only thing he did not fake were the letters. What do you mean? These weren't fake. That was the other thing as well, yeah. The letters that were planted on Jill to make Kay look guilty. So there's more to this. But this feels like we caught the killer, so okay. First, he found this letter in Jill Crane's clothes. Right, we never talked about the sons from case 3. We never talked about these letters and the stuff from 12 years ago that Kay was talking about. We have no idea what happened to the killer. There's all these mysteries from all the cases, and I'm just like, oh, I must know what's going to happen. Then, he also found this letter on Kay, who was unconscious in the storeroom. The contents of this letter seemed to suggest that the two had been corresponding with each other. Which is why Blaise DeBest assumed that the two were working together. Ridiculous. That can't be right. After reading the two letters, he decided to pin the crime on Kay Faraday in order to cast suspicion on her. He planted one of the letters in a notable spot. The deceased Jill Crane's... Okay, so he planted the letters, but... in a specific way, but he didn't write the letters. Isn't that just an excuse? Yes, that is what I thought as well. It may have simply been a last-ditch effort to save himself. However, before the stern eyes of the goddess of law, these are all trivial matters. His crimes shall certainly not go unpunished. You know, Godot, if that was the case and the killer lived happily ever after, that would also be fine. Once the game tells me that. With this, I have finally fulfilled one of my long-standing missions. Judge Courtney, will you tell me what you know? Why did Blaise DeBest murder Jill Crane? He's an assassin, but he's great. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have solved case 1 of this game. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have got Matt Engard guilty in 2-4. Yeah, he's a very honorable assassin. What lies hidden behind this case? Yes, I don't mind. You have the right to know everything. And he sells ice cream. Long ago, Jill Crane was in love with a cameraman. That man was pursuing the black market auction as a journalist. And then, before he could reach the truth, he was erased. Erased. The feelings and the items Miss Crane inherited from her beloved brought her to the auction. She had come to exact revenge on the conductor, Blaise. Although in the end, she was the one who was murdered instead. I see. So that's what happened. While the goddess of law cannot condone her actions, we have succeeded in our goal of bringing Blaise DeBest's crime to light. So, Judge Courtney's goal was to expose Blaise DeBest and reveal the dark secrets of the PIC. By the way, what happened to the young prosecutor? His hair did explode, that is true. We have been unable to contact him for some time now. Oh no, where'd he go? Do you have any idea where he might be? I had not been truly working for him, so I see. I feel so very sorry for him. What you should be sorry for is the fact that he was kept in the dark until now. No matter how cruel reality is, he will have to accept it. If he can't, he won't be able to walk in his own path in life. Ever. Her father's influence is not something that is easily erased. However, I am sure he will be able to change from here on out. Yes, that's right. Surely, you must be right. Will I too be able to walk my own path in life? Kay, is your body alright? Yeah? Thanks to you. I'm so sorry. Even though you're my patient, you ended up getting suspected because of me. Ouch. You can't just take care of the patient's body. You gotta take care of the heart too. That's my granny. Kay, how are your memories? I feel like I'm on the verge of remembering something. Interesting. Well then, I shall take my leave here. I will be presiding over Patricia Rowland's trial. That would be the trial for the murder of Horace Knightley. Who's in charge of the defense? Miss Crane was supposed to be her defense attorney, but now she has passed away. We are currently arranging for a replacement defense attorney. Jill Crane had been in charge of Patricia Rowland's defense? Interesting. I'll also have to get in contact with Sebastian quickly, since he's the prosecutor in charge. Well then. Please wait! What about Mr. Edgeworth's prosecutor badge? What will happen to his prosecutor's badge? With the chairman arrest, the PIC is no longer functional, so I cannot answer that question easily. Oh. Perhaps one could say, only the goddess of law knows? But that's... I'm sure Edgeworth doesn't have regrets. Yeah, you don't need to worry about me. This is the path that I have chosen. It seems you have no plans to change it either. Of course not. I chose this path to seek the truth. With the departures of Blaise the Best, the law has once again returned to our hands. If you truly desire to continue the prosecutor's path, I am willing to assist you in reclaiming your badge. I appreciate the sentiment, but I must decline. I did not relinquish my badge with half-hearted feelings. I see. It seems that our paths of law will continue to run counter to each other. Until our paths cross once again, I shall have you hold onto that badge. That was my intention from the start. Francisco's unhappy. However, on occasion, the goddess of law is quite generous. Please return this notebook to its proper owner. Kay's promise notebook? It seems this was scheduled to be put up for bidding at the black market auction. The name Kay is written on the notebook. It seems Blaise the Best quickly realized this belonged to the girl, since the letters he found also contained the same name. You speak as if you really did not know about the letters. Are you saying that Blaise really did not prepare the letters himself? Yes, that man said so himself. Still gotta solve this mystery. Kay Faraday's goal was to steal back the notebook. Jill Crane's goal was to get revenge. In order to achieve their goals, the two teamed up to infiltrate the auction, or so he says. Unfortunately, this was all Blaise's misunderstanding. It was purely a coincidence. If the attorney from the PIC and Kay really were acquaintances, it would be strange that she never mentioned it to me, considering her personality. Haha, you really do trust her, don't you? In the end, the notebook was used as another red herring. It's something that is very important to that girl, isn't it? Yeah. This might help her memories. I'll make a special exception and return it. I'm sure that's what the goddess of law desires. That's... I appreciate it. I shall pray that she recovers her lost memories. Yeah, there's a lot of pieces of evidence that have price tags on them that I'm like, why would anyone want to buy this? Is something wrong? Hey, I am returning something very important to you. Aww. Ah, this is... Always greet people with a smile, even if you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Aww. My heart. Look, Daddy, I wrote them all down. Yep, I'll be sure to follow all of our promises and become a hero just like you, Daddy. Angel! We're having a touching moment here. Oh, that's right. There was one more. I forgot to write down the most important promise. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I'll be sure to remember. I'll never ever forget them. Always try your hardest to learn things you don't understand. That's right! I am... I am the great thief who steals the truth, Kay Faraday! I am the second Yatagarasu, and Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. There she is! Kay, you remember? It's kind of embarrassing though. Thank you so much. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Even when I lost my memories, you were still always trying to save me, right? It seems you're back to normal. Wow, Kay, you've gotten better. Your health comes first. Now you can relax. Just make sure you don't run off and lose all your memories again. Ah, Miss Jensen, Dr. Young. Thanks for worrying about me. Hey, if you're feeling all better, how about changing back into your own clothes? I washed your clothes for you. So they're nice and clean. Heck yeah! These clothes. Wasn't Detective Gumshoe holding on to them? He said forensics was done with them, so he gave them back to me. Have they revealed the results of the analysis yet? To be honest, I actually didn't think to ask them about that. Now, more importantly, let's hurry up and get you changed, Kay. Still, isn't it better if we do not remove her bandages? Ah, she should be fine now. Kay just bumped her head. She didn't really have any other major injuries. Then, why was she so heavily bandaged? Better safe than sorry. A pound of prevention is worth an ounce of cure. That's my motto. Bruh. She has bandages all over her entire, arm and body. What a troublesome motto. But all she did is hit her head. Come on, Kay. Let's get you dressed up over there. And over her eye? Yeah. Well, that was quick. Now, this is definitely what a great thief should look like. Alright, little missy. You got some explaining to do. Who is Jill? What really happened on the rooftop? A smile certainly suits you best. In the past, and now as well. Miss Von Karma, thank you for coming too. I only came because Scruffy asked me to. That's Scruffy. He also wanted to see your energetic self again. Gummy? What happened to Gummy? Who knows? Who cares? It's just like, who cares, dude? Maybe he was disgusted with the man who willingly threw away his prosecutor's badge? Detective Gumshoe. I must be going soon. I'll be taking these ladies in for questioning. Oh, what's gonna happen to the two of them? One aided in the murder of an attorney. The other forged an autopsy report 18 years ago. Those crimes definitely won't disappear. Of course, I will mention in court that they were being blackmailed by Blaze. We'll be just fine, as long as Granny's by my side. We're invincible. Well then, take care. Now then. Oh, a lot of stuff. I forgot. Now then, Kay. Sorry to ask so soon right after you regained your memories. Yeah, but I have I was about to say, I have some questions too. Sure, ask me anything you want. What were you doing on the day you lost your memories? On that day, I was asked to come to Gourd Lake. I don't know who called me there though. As I was watching the moon at Gourd Lake, a person in a red raincoat approached me. All of a sudden, he used some kind of drug to knock me out. What? Wait, what is she saying? What? wait, she had nothing, there was nothing to do with the roof at all? When I woke up, it seems I somehow ended up on the... Wait a sec, I need to watch the intro to this case again. Because I got seriously baited. I swear, it pans up the... Okay, I swear I remember the intro. It shows the building, the Grand Tower. It pans up, and then it cuts to a picture of Kay and the person in the red coat. Are you telling me they were just in completely separate locations? My mind was still in a daze, so I stumbled around for a bit. That's when I found the person in the red raincoat collapse. I was startled, and when I stepped back in panic, I fell from a high place and got knocked out cold again. And that's when I woke up. All my memories were gone. The person in the red raincoat. Who exactly was that person? Oh yeah, I was certain I saw them walking in midair. Okay, well... Must be walking on the water, somehow. That must be what she's seeing. Please calm down. I'm just a little confused because you've only recently gotten your memories back. Most likely, this is the main cause of your confused memories. I really want to say that, but I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, so your memory of two places, just confused. But no, I think if she's telling the truth, I mean it adds up, right? Why she saw the moon in a different place, why she saw the red person coming at them and there was no room behind the stand. This is probably the main cause of your confused memories. You saw the moon at both the Gourd Lake Park and the Grand Tower rooftop, which led you to confuse the two places. Huh? But aren't they totally different places? Even if I was in a daze, do you really think I'd get them confused? Most likely. There was something at the Grand Tower which led to your confusion. What's at both places? What's at Gourd Lake? Oh, the frickin' food stalls, right? The samurai dogs and the ice cream. The Grand Tower rooftop and Gourd Lake have 2 points in common. They both have a cherry tree and food. Oh, okay, they have cherry trees too. Ah, now that you mention it, your memories were confused. because you had been in 2 similar locations. The person that you first saw could not have been walking in midair. They were simply walking on the ground. Okay, so not on the water, at Gourd Lake Park. You must have gotten that scene confused with the Grand Tower rooftop. So that's what happened. How dare they steal the memories of a great thief? They'll pay for this. Nevertheless, I wonder who the person that assaulted Kay was. The person in the red raincoat who appeared at Gourd Lake. Red raincoats again. What's that? What's that noise? It sounds like it's coming from the storeroom. Mr. Edgeworth, let's go check it out. What? I'm just waiting for Old Bag to show up in case 5. I'm ready for it. My shutterbug sense is tingling. I smell me another scoop. You're still here. What are you even taking pictures of? Oh boy! I know what this is! Mr. Edgeworth, this walkie-talkie thing here is what's beeping! This transceiver. Why do I feel like I've seen it somewhere before? Oh my god, I'm so excited to watch Ned do Case 4 tomorrow in Ace Attorney 2. Oh my lord, I never thought I'd have to see it again though. It's still beeping, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not particularly familiar with this sort of device. Come on, we have to answer it. Here goes. Wait. Hello, Edgeworth speaking. Kay, please don't just answer it on your own. I am speaking with Mr. Miles Edgeworth, I presume. This voice is... Shelley the Killer! I congratulate you on resolving the case. However, can you truly say, in good conscience, that it has been solved? Are you aware of the mastermind who is pulling the strings behind the incident? You. Why do you know about the incident? That's not important right now. Wouldn't you agree? Right now, we're discussing the mastermind behind this case. I had an inkling that such a person existed, even before you said anything. After all, there was evidence to suggest that someone had used Kay to disrupt the investigation. Huh? There was? So, who's the mastermind? I don't know, dude. I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Would you kindly show me the evidence that indicates the existence of a mastermind? The existence? Maybe? Not really.
It's like, these are the letters that they were talking about. We haven't asked Kay if she actually wrote this. And we can't ask Jill if she wrote the other one, because she's dead. But I don't know what else it would be, really. Everything else is kind of accounted for. Yeah, I think everything else is pretty much accounted for at the moment. It's one of the it must be. Let's go with this letter. Maybe Kay didn't write this one. With my plan, I'm glad that we can help each other get what we wanted. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. And it's signed as K. Might not be K. Let's try it. Take that. That's my best guess.
Take that.
It was the letter that Kay allegedly sent to the victim. Come to think of it. Aha! I don't remember writing that letter at all. Who could have prepared this letter? I too am quite curious to know. Oh, not even the killer knows. Oh man. So, you're not the one who wrote the letter? What could I possibly gain from doing such an act? Is it not necessary for you to stand in court in order to make the truth clear? What can you possibly do, now that your badge has been taken from you? I look forward to finding out from the shadow. This man. How does he know that? That's true! How does he already know that I don't have my badge anymore? Do we have an understanding? Please ensure you do not betray my trust. Now then, if you'll excuse me. Dude, the return of the walkie-talkie is not a character I expected to come back. He said the case wasn't solved yet. What did he mean by that? And why would Mr. the Killer even bother telling us that? Ugh, nothing makes sense anymore. This case has not reached its true conclusion yet. However, although I've lost my prosecutor's badge, who I am still has not changed. While I don't know where this may lead me, I shall reveal the truth. I swear it. Oh my god. What a case, dude. That is one of my all-time favorite cases, for sure. That was such a good case. Oh. And I'm super excited for this one. Okay, before I watch the Case 5 intro, I want to rewatch the Case 4 intro. I want to see the debate. No, not play the whole case. Look at this. It shows the building and then it pans upwards. And it's midnight. Yeah, and then she... Oh. And she fell off the building and survived somehow. Yeah, the moon is behind her. I mean, it's, you know, perspectives, all that. It's fine. It's okay. It's supposed to... It did a great job in misleading me. I got super debated. Okay, do you guys want to watch Case 5 intro? Because I want to watch the Case 5 intro.
Oh my god. We're not starting it tonight, but we are going to play it tomorrow. It's called The Grand Turnabout. I'm super excited for this one. Okay, we're back at the Grand Tower. What is happening? Oh, it's the movie. Oh, okay. Right. This must be the movie that Peggy is shooting. What? What kind of movie are they making? Is that what the stuffed animal is supposed to be? It's supposed to be a picture of, like a replica of that? Okay, and we're back at the Grand Tower. On the same day. This is 10 minutes after the last case ended. Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. It's called the Grand Tournament. I'm very excited. Oh, man, so much is gonna happen. I'm really excited to see the killer again and have all the questions unanswered and really get. I mean, we finally got to the bottom of the whole corruption happening in the PIC. It was all freaking blazed the best, but there's still like a huge underlying thing that we still need to get to. Tomorrow. Oh, sorry, I meant next week, not tomorrow. Sorry. But you know what? You know what is happening tomorrow? One of my good friends, Ned Iege, is playing through case 2-4. So I highly recommend you go check him out. Twitch.tv/NEDAIEJ. Yeah, he's playing through, which is my favorite case so far in the entire out of all the cases that I've played. I'm very excited. He only just started it. I'm very excited to see him do it. Yeah, we gotta go find the best. Oh, this was such a good case. There's so many things I loved about it. I loved how the murder was carried out. I loved all the big brain moments. Super, super, super fun. Really good case. Yeah, all the cases have been like phenomenal in this game. I can see why people really love this one. And I understand why it didn't get a a proper translation, but it's such a shame because it's a gem. Oh man. Oof. Oh, interesting, Godot. I'm excited. Oh, I'm still very excited to see Case 5. The only downside was that I couldn't pull his beard. Yeah, that is true. Okay.